Yo, 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 what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, WWE Bad Blood, the franchise player. Join here on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast with my boy, according to motherfucking Woods, Adam Woods right there, and special guest, George Hermosa.
Of the
George,
Wrestling
what's up, man?
Chatter. Of
That's
the
right.
Wrestling Chatter. Put
The
some
Wrestling
respect on
Chatter.
his name.
That's right.
That's
Put some
right.
sauce on it.
Just surpassed 500 subscribers.
Oh, that's the shit, man. That's
How
good
many?
shit right there.
How many you got according to Woods?
Just cracked, I think 402. So I'm
Nice.
yeah. There
You
we
guys
go.
are doing the most, man. You guys are doing the most.
Yeah.
Can I say? I mean, this is my first time officially being on, franchise player Bad Blood channel. You sound like a radio DJ, like one of those slow jam nighttime, like, "Hey, what's up, baby girl? We're gonna play right now. Always and forever by Heatwave coming right up."
Yeah, that's steady long as fuck, isn't it?
And, basically, you can be like, "I'm coming to the stage." George,
Yeah,
Hermosa.
that too.
I mean,
That's
that's a living. It's a living, damn it.
Man, that would be kind of cool, though. I mean, I probably would get in a lot of trouble, but it is what it is.
Well, speaking of livings or lack thereof,
That's right.
I mean, the reason why we're here, and it's not unjust, not at all, because it seems like 10 names from the WWE were future endeavored. And actually, they didn't even get the future endeavor part of the conversation. They were just like, "You're gone." There you go.
Johnny Ace, Johnny Laurinaitis, the man behind the Divas title and all that bullshit. So Johnny Ace came back and immediately just started firing people, man. Like,
but to be fair, and this is I'm not a Johnny Ace advocate, but to be fair, the same thing happened exactly 1 year ago. It was even worse. I want to say today was like 10, but I want to say last year maybe it was like close to 20 or 25.
No, it was 40. Legit,
Yeah.
40 people were fired. I'm sorry, furloughed last year.
Mhm.
Man, and we got a guy that's going to pop on this stream right now. Everybody might know him. We know him as Big Steve, but Steve Kaufman is in the house right now, and maybe he'll be able to share a little light on the subject. Steve, welcome to the podcast, my man.
Welcome. This feels like a smooth jazz station.
Okay. I was, it's funny. I was thinking that I was the Owen Hart of the video but now
Nation of Domination.
Now it looks like we're NWO Black and White with Stevie Ray, Vincent, Horace Hogan, and let's throw in he can be Buff Bagwell. Steve Kaufman can be Buff Bagwell.
Don't you dare talk about
Vincent, though?
Don't you dare! Vincent hit on my mom. Damn you!
And it's funny. Or speaking of which, you guys are dressed in black, and me and Steve are dressed
I'm wearing
in
red. So I guess I'm Wolfpack, huh?
Ooh,
there we go.
I'm just saying, rival colors here.
That's the turn moving forward.
Man, run it up.
Too sweet, me, bro.
So, Steve, we were just talking about the 40 people that got let go last year, as opposed to the future endeavored people who just got the boot this year.
So are we running down the name? Because I have to say, Samoa Joe is the most shocking.
I disagree. And again, I disagree. I think the most shocking, actually, you know what? Before I want to hear why you think Samoa Joe is the most shocking out of everyone else.
Because I think of everyone on that list, Samoa Joe was the closest in progression to someone you could see not main eventing a WrestleMania, but being a big part of your main roster for the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, he hasn't even wrestled in like almost 2 years.
There
isn't a single person on this panel that knows how close he was to even being a competitor in the ring. I'm not saying it's not shocking. I was shocked. I have my own opinion on the most shocking.
He literally just got cleared for in-ring competition. That's why he wasn't on commentary.
You know that for sure.
Yeah.
You know that for sure.
He just got cleared.
Okay.
And like when you get cleared and you're ready to go, then all of a sudden it's like, gotta go. See you when I see you. They gave him the big boot, like fucking, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, you got to think about it too. Exactly 365 days ago, the WWE did a massive cut, 40 people. And a lot of people say that massive cut, that 40 people, was just to help please the bottom line because they had their investor meeting the following Monday. And right now, I mean, the WWE is not fucking hurting for money. They just sold to the Peacock Network for what, a fucking $1 billion?
Just to add the TV rights, the
just for the
network
TV rights. Like, come on, they're
Yeah.
making hand over fist. And I think that Russell, God, what the fuck's it called? WrestleNomics.
Yeah.
Not finger poking.
Hand over fist, right there.
Exactly.
There you go.
WrestleNomics said that Vince McMahon's annual salary was like $5 million, and then Triple H's was like $1 million per year, and Stephanie made a lowly like $950,000 a year
As a talent, as the on-air
yeah,
talent.
exactly. As on-air talent. So they're not hurting for money, but I guess getting rid of like a chunk of people on the roster that could have actually did something, and then keeping people who really aren't doing shit.
So I want to point out something I felt this time last year when we all learned about it, which is everyone likes to say union. And I think union in this climate has become a dirty word because there's a difference between a union, like all of the roster joining SAG-AFTRA, and collective bargaining. Because these 90-day rollovers are the reason they're able to lay off so many people, even people like Chelsea Green, who they just re-signed.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And the entire locker room needs to band together and say, we're happy to work with you. We're happy with our contracts, except for these items. And we won't be working for you until we have these items off of every contract. That's what collective bargaining is. And I feel like it gets too politicized when collective bargaining is just, you can have an informal union. And I hope everyone tweeting a frowny face right now because their favorite's getting fired, like everyone on the roster, actually does something with their voice.
I want to find someone on Twitter who thinks that Wesley Blake is their favorite. Go.
Actually, I'm on Twitter right now, and that's probably not going to be found anywhere. I mean,
I don't know if I want
to. Like, I think he's pretty.
Wait, does that mean he's actually the forgotten son? Was that a
premonition? He's forgotten now.
No.
Did you see CM Punk's tweet to Samoa Joe with Rick James on the couch?
Fuck your couch. Although I mean, I think it's easy, and it always gives people to talk about like union and CBA. We all know it's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Anytime you hear, like, it'll just come back around of, oh, they're trying to join SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA's not having wrestlers. And if SAG-AFTRA did have wrestlers, it wouldn't be good for the wrestlers. What I'm saying is collective bargaining. I would like to see collective bargaining in the WWE. And once a year they do this, it's the time they have to actually, it's the time they have the most political and social capital in the locker room to really band together and say, I don't think you should be able to do that to me. To sign me to a 2-year deal and then fire me in 90 days.
Let me ask you this: who do you think? Let's just play the collective bargaining gimmick here. Let's just do that. Who do you think can have the balls to stand up to Vince? Like what? Give me 4 guys that will stand up and say, hey, you know what? We need to band together and keep from getting screwed over by Vince.
Who would do this about this? Because I think Titus O'Neil would if he felt it were 100% in his wheelhouse.
Okay, Titus would
like
get fired.
Ideologically. Titus O'Neil, I think if, once again, Roman Reigns, I feel like has that kind of relationship with Vince. I just don't know if this is the line for him. Randy Orton doesn't seem to give an F, but his contract is so big that I don't think he'd care much about his fellow locker room.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure, and also I don't think every contract has this 90-day thing. And I actually just now realizing I didn't explain what I mean when I say this. It's written into every WWE Superstars contract that whatever the contract's for, whether it's for 2 months or 2 years or 20 years, they get the chance to auto renew every 90 days, which means they also get the chance to cut you every 90 days, which means you don't have a 2-year contract. You have a 90-day contract that you hope and pray they don't fire you on the 90th day.
Wow.
But even if you have, like a Titus O'Neil, whoever, or even like a Roman Reigns, what is it that they want? What are they asking for? to not be fired?
I think collectively you could say these, because this is the thing we know about. I'm sure there are plenty of terrible, shady things in a WWE contract that everyone just kind of goes along with because that's how things are done.
Yeah.
When if you really wanted to collectively bargain, you could say, you know what? You don't own my shoot name. Nor can't you. Like, you could use the 1099 versus W2. You'd probably lose that. But you could use that as a bargaining chip to get other things that you really, really need.
Like what?
You know,
Because my thing is, like, they want to be an employee or close to employee. Being an employee, that just means they have more of an option to fire you. Because now you belong to them even more so than what you already are as an independent contractor. And there's still hundreds of people that aren't signed with the WWE that will say, you know what? Yes, do whatever it is that you want with my contract as long as I work for the company. And obviously, maybe it is until years later, but as long as you have a number of people saying, I want that WWE contract no matter what, there will never be a union.
Yeah.
Because they sign in the beginning.
But I do think if enough people got together and said, and the example I will stand to is a 90-day rollover clause, which means if you sign, whether it's Parker Bordeaux or Randy Orton, if you have a deal, you don't actually have that X amount of years in the deal. You don't have that employment guaranteed. You don't have that money guaranteed. You have 90 days. You have a 90-day contract at X per week. And I think
sign the deal in the first place because
everyone else does that. Like, you lost that leverage because the second 80% of the locker room has that deal, you lose the leverage to not have that deal. And that's what I'm saying, that if everyone in the locker room banded together and say, we're not trying to be unreasonable. We're not trying to hire 15 lawyers and get you and have you write us a SAG-AFTRA contract. We are trying to tell you, if you sign us to a 5-year deal, that means you were on the hook to employ us for 5 years within reason. Okay. And because it's the 90th day is not a reason.
And but that just means they're going to structure it even more. They're going to say, you know what? Okay, fine, we'll do that. But if at any point we see that you don't become valuable to us in those 5 years, just like any NBA or sports contract, they have the right to release you. Like, it's no different. Like, we're asking for all these things, but it's really no different than they're just going to find another loophole, as they should, as we all would do in the same situation if we were that big conglomerate company.
No, 100%. And where if you went 90 days, it makes it that much harder to divvy out and talk about collective bargaining and what is the purpose of doing it, right? So how does merch sales, how does that come into play? You screw the video game, because if everybody's on a 90-day kind of rollover contract, you can't look 2 years out and start doing scans and everything for the new video game every year. And that's a huge chunk of especially if you're a mid-card kind of tier talent, that's a large chunk of your income. So how does that work out in terms of the bargaining? Because a Randy Orton kind of motion capture is going to be different than a Wesley Blake one.
I will also say, the way, as far as I'm aware, like, I don't have much inside knowledge. As far as I'm aware, their contracts are based on a downside guarantee. For better.
Yeah. I mean, they're guaranteed that downside. It's not like they're guaranteed that downside no matter what.
So any additional revenue opportunity goes against the downside guarantee, which, when they were working 300 dates a year, meant they didn't have time to do Twitch, but also meant they were guaranteed to make whatever that downside was if they were appearing in the ring every night.
No, see, and that's the thing, like, with the whole COVID situation going on and them eliminating house shows, most guys were going to Twitch. They were making all this money on Twitch, doing these streams. And, guys like Xavier Woods has the up, down, down thing on YouTube, and he's working for G4. So when the WWE decided that they were going to stop people from using Twitch, and they were going to stop the third-party applications, they were going to stop the cameos, they were going to stop all this other bullshit they were doing to grab money from the guys. That was bullshit. We all know that. Vince is the guy that says, you can't do this because we own your WWE name. That's fine. You can own my WWE name, but you can't own my real name, my personal name. And but now he's like, now I own your real name. I own everything about you. You can't do this, but you're not an employee. You're independent contractor, where the word independent means I'm not signed to anyone and I can do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do what you want to do as an independent person, you can go and you can do your Twitch. You can go and do your Twitter. You can go and do whatever it is you want to do, as long as you're not using that WWE name, because that's what's trademarked. That's what's owned and operated by Vince and the WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you create a union and these guys are in this union, anyone that works in the industry that has a union, when you work in a union, you're protected for certain things, healthcare, like the issues that happen with sexual harassment, things like that, unfair treatment at work. That's what unions are built around, to help keep people from getting screwed over. But in the world of professional wrestling, and I've been in wrestling for 28 years, there's never been a union, and there never will be, because people are greedy, and people look out for themselves before they look out for anyone else. And that sucks in this business. I mean, it really does, because a lot of people, like I always tell people, I have a lot of buddies, I have a lot of associates, I have very few friends in the business. The simple fact is, it is a business. So when you get a bunch of guys that want to come together and build a union, like the whole situation, them trying to build a union and not tell Vince, somebody went back and was like, hey, Vince, check this out. These motherfuckers were talking about building a union and forcing you to do certain things.
That was Hulk Hogan.
I don't want to be a part of that.
No, Jesse Ventura.
No, Jesse Ventura was trying to form the union. Hulk Hogan snitched.
Yeah,
Yep, I don't want to be part of it, but wink, wink, nod, nod. That dude over there is starting trouble. That's why this will never ever work in this industry. You're going to keep having releases like this. And Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful.com, he said that he talked to Laurinaitis, and Laurinaitis was making calls and telling talent that it was budget cuts. That's the reason for all the releases. Well,
I mean, he's not wrong. They cut the talent budget.
I mean, yeah, it could be. They cut certain people's talent budget, but then they're re-signing Randy Orton for like $10 million a year, over the course of the next like 4 years, guaranteed. They try to screw AEW by keeping all these people like, hey, I'm gonna sign you to the deal. You can't go anywhere for the next like 10 years. And then they're locked into those deals. And then they're like, oh, well, you got like a 6 month, 6 month no compete clause. Now you got to sit on the sidelines and do nothing for 6 months. Or the NXT kids, they have 3 weeks. That's their get out.
Does anyone know specifically how the non-compete clause works? Because how I always understood the non-compete clause is they give you 90 days of pay to not go anywhere, and that's an accepted severance package.
Yeah. Basically what it is saying that, okay, so Billy Kay, Chelsea Green, Kalisto, Tucker, Wesley Blake, Mickey James, Samoa Joe, here's the deal. We're going to give you X amount of dollars, but you can't go on any podcast. You can't go appear at anyone's wrestling events. You can't tweet about it. You can't fucking do this about it. You can't do that about it for 90 days.
I think it's been updated more recently to more like you can't show up on TV tomorrow. Yeah. You can still do the indies, because I remember Colt Cabana, when he got released on a Thursday, he showed up at PWG on a Friday. I was there. But he wasn't able to show up at TNA like that same day. I think it's mostly just you can't sign with AEW or Impact in the next 90 days. Do your indie shows, do whatever. Like, you just remember you're still getting a paycheck. And even with somebody like a Rhino, remember when after Rhino got released from the WWE, within those 90 days was ECW One Night Stand, and he still wrestled at that event, and he still ended up getting released a month later. But I think for the most part, it's just you can do things. Be careful, because you still have a contract that you can breach if you do the wrong things. Just don't be signing with other companies within those 90 days.
You can't even talk to other companies. That's the whole situation.
Yeah, that's very dumb.
Well, unless the money is more. And I think the reason they hold all the cards here, because they release everyone suddenly. Like, there are people who appear on WrestleMania who get released days later. So no one's
Billy Kay.
So no one's under the impression on Monday that they really need to like hit the pavement and like put out some feelers to like, what do I have a deal at Ring of Honor? Could I go to Japan? Like, what are my options?
What's really fucked up? Billy Kay's gimmick was that she would walk around giving people resumes, and now she has to legitimately do that.
Can I just say, Because that was like the first thing I saw. I was scrolling Twitter. The first two names I saw were Mickey James and Billie Kay. And I will say, out of everybody, I am still shocked the most at Billie Kay. She is somebody who absolutely maximized every second she was on TV. She was funny. She was hilarious. She can wrestle. She wasn't bad. She wasn't top 10, but she wasn't bad either. And she was just every time she was on TV, she just shined like a star, and that's why I'm still shocked that they let her go. Payne, I'm shocked as well, but nobody shocked me shocked me most than Billie Kay getting fired. Like that one, I'm baffled because she is everything that they can want. Even like a Bailey, where it's like she hasn't wrestled in a little bit, but she's still killing it on the mic. Ding dong, hello. Same thing with Billie Kay. Like every time she's on TV, she capitalized everything, and it's like, isn't that what you want in an employee? So why? So that's why it baffled me that they were going to fire her like that. When like, how you going to do that to somebody who busts her ass like every single time she's on the TV?
It happens every fucking time, man. It happens. So you got guys that go out there and they break fucking wide. They bust their ass to put asses in the seats and to, make things, work. You know what I mean? Like, look. Billie Kay, I'm really surprised of Billie Kay being fired because, like you say, she legitly was like, dude, the whole women's tag team thing, like when she came out with Carmella, that was the fucking highlight of the match for me because she's hilarious, bro.
Mm-hmm. I'll go into a rant in a little bit about that as well, about both Peyton and Billie. But even with like Zelina's another one where she killed it every single time she was on TV. But obviously there was those third party issues. Okay, like she gotten fired? No, but at least there's an explanation behind of that firing where it's like, hey, we told you, you still did it, we got to let you go. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. I still don't understand the Billie Kay situation. Like I don't get that. Like I don't get a budget cut. I don't get how that. I'm not going to name names on who I think should be fired or should have been released. I'm not going to go there. But she is definitely more valuable in so many more ways than a lot more people on that roster.
I agree.
Yeah.
I also think Mickey James is money if they were to have used her at all.
Well, don't you think that Mickey James's tryout was NXT Takeover the two nights, and they kind of were reshuffling the deck, right? To have, I can't even remember who was it. It wasn't Rosenberg. It was Sam Roberts, right? Sam Roberts, Jimmy Smith from MMA, and Mickey James, and she kind of went in and out, but having Sam and Jimmy kind of 1 and 2, and I think that was, in kind of wrestling lore, all of your favorite like wrestlers, the Pipers, the whatever, they would talk about how, when you were on the cusp of leaving or what have you, they were try and plug you in different scenarios and see what works. And I thought that was her tryout, right? And I thought she might have like a Beth Phoenix type role with NXT. And then that, to me, she's the most like, especially the fact that they kind of cut Sarah Stock, the former Dark Angel, and Sarita and whatever. I figured her being one of the, like second in command to, God, what's her name? I forgot her name. But the women's coach,
Sarah Del Rey.
Sarah Del Rey, yes, my all-time great. But yeah, I thought she would, there'd be 1 and 2 with the women's division and what have you, along with Norman Smiley. I saw her kind of fitting into that role.
I'm looking at Twitter right now, and dude, Chelsea Green posted something on Twitter that kind of sums it up for everything. She says, "I've made it once in a lifetime memories at WWE. I didn't do everything I set out to do, but I'm proud of what I've done. Can you say you were in the Royal Rumble for 14 seconds? No. I'm proud of the fact that I never took no for an answer, even after 4 tryouts and a reality show. I'm proud of the fact that I came back stronger every single time I was knocked out or broken arm. Although it's been a few years, nothing has changed. I'm still that girl. Tomorrow I get up, dust myself off, start on my next journey. I'm taking back control. I am refocusing, and I'm going to do what I've always set out to do. Make a name for myself. It's been a short and sweet WWE universe. I'll see you on TV." dude.
Mhm.
I mean,
Very,
don't
very
don't
cool.
don't get it twisted about some of these people. It's like these people will be fine. The people
Yeah.
that want to succeed, they will succeed. Like, so don't think that this is like a sad ending to a lot of these people. And I was thinking about it the other day where it's like, yes, WWE to many people is the end all be all. But guess what? That doesn't mean your life has to end. Like there are so many more. If it's about the money, you're gonna make your money. Trust
Mhm.
me,
Oh,
you
yeah,
are
yeah.
gonna make your money. If it's not about the money, like then think of it as like a motivation factor where it's like, how do you get AEW, which by the way, I don't think they're anywhere close to WWE's level, but how do you get maybe help get AEW to that WrestleMania type level of having those kind of events where you have that one weekend where you know it's going to be the wrestling world coming together. And obviously AEW's got a way to go, but at least motivate yourself to help get a company to that level.
Now, I will say this: we all know, everyone knows. Like, I'm not a pro WWE or pro AEW person. I'm a pro wrestling person. And
Mm-hmm.
here's my thing about AEW versus WWE, and I'm just gonna put it out there. AEW is professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
WWE, they make movies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
1.9 million viewers last night for AEW Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
A person we all know said that AEW will never get that number, and they got it the first fucking Wednesday that there was no competition.
I
But
didn't
on the
think
flip
it would
side,
happen.
I mean, but to be fair,
on the
they
flip
also
side,
got
NXT had a great
yeah.
number too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, to be
and
fair though, like AEW had 1 million with competition that first week they were on, so that just goes to show there was interest there. But they wanted to see more than just a wrestling show.
well, I mean, and I agree, and that's why I say WWE is. I mean, they make movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're not World Wrestling Federation or All Elite Wrestling. They're World Wrestling Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
They make movies. They have WWE studios. They have all this other bullshit going on. Like legit. Look at this. The WWE made record profit last year. Okay, they got deals with Fox, NBC US, USA Network. They got for Raw. They got $1 billion over like X amount of years from the
Yeah,
Peacock
for
Network.
Peacock.
Plus NXT has TV deals. They have international shit. Like they're making money. So firing all these people, like last year, it sucked. It sucked because they fired people during the pandemic.
And even so, like, and again, I'm not pro WWE. I mean, I am, but I'm also not trying to defend them either. But we at least can understand. Oh, it's in a pandemic. Like, you know what I mean. Like, at least you're able to be like, oh, it's whatever it is. Like that was at least an excuse, right?
Mhm.
Oh, maybe they'll bring some of these guys
There's
back.
no
I think they brought back like one person. That was Drake Maverick, right? But like now where it's like, oh, cool. Now it's been a year, they've kind of had a little bit more, they were able to have WrestleMania for 2 nights. So no, it's not record setting revenue, but it's revenue. And then you're going to fire people like just right after WrestleMania, after you just were able to have fans again at WrestleMania, like that, like last year was, we weren't happy, but at least there was a somewhat reasoning behind it.
Right.
Now it's like I honestly don't understand unless like a Samoa Joe or maybe like a Tucker, where like, you know what, if you're not going to use me, release me. But again, the Iconics, like, oh my god, like I'm still like mind blown over that fact.
Well, it's the crazy thing because we're talking about numbers and revenue and all this, and it's earth shattering for the WWE. They've never been better, right? In a time where, it's similar to the UFC where, Dana was running. I mean, 70% of WME, IMG, the biggest talent agency in Hollywood, the parent company of the UFC, 70% of their revenue came just because of UFC running events and the ad revenue on ESPN, right? But here's the thing. Walmart has record-setting revenue, right? The FedEx, Costco, what have you. But if you're kind of like, they're not doing anything with you, or you're not performing to whoever's standards, there's no hoopla about like getting fired or anything like that. Happens all the time. Now, in this particular instance, right? The Samoa Joe one was, to me, I think he had like a lot more years it go. Maybe a title run. That's what I thought in terms of my optics. He kind of. It's funny that him and CM Punk were kind of tweeting back and forth after the news came out because it was kind of similar, like both injured, blah, blah, blah. And they excelled as commentators, like, Roddy Piper and people before him. Right. But I don't know, man. It's just weird. Just because people and companies could have record-setting revenues and, CEOs get kickbacks and everything doesn't mean that, like, that's I'm safe with my job because, like, again, like Tucker, what was he doing really? Kalisto wanted out for a while. Like him, I think all of the Lucha Brothers or Lucha House Party, they wanted was like let us go. They were counting down the days.
I think Don McGuire says it best, and when he says anyone is dispensable, and I do think that speaks to corporate culture because in a business 101 class, at least in the day one of the one I went to, they ask everyone around the room, what is a business, like, what is the number one thing a business makes? And everyone would say profits or revenue or social impact or all of these things until the professor eventually is like a product. A business makes a product. And it's not until Business 102 that you learn that a business makes a product for a customer.
Yep.
It's what gets complicated with a company like the WWE is we all think the product is the TV show and we are the customer, when in reality, the product is shareholder value and the customer are the shareholders. So until we hold 100,000 shares of their stock, they don't actually care what we have to say.
And here's the funny thing about that. And Steve, you are fucking 1,000% right. And I'm going to tell people, like, I'll probably get a lot of heat for this, but oh well. So Billy Silverman, if you're listening, go fuck yourself.
Ooh, ouch. That's a WCW luminary, damn it.
Well, he had a lot of negative things to say about you, Mr. Woods, so he can go fuck himself, like I said.
Wow.
So basically the point is this. Vince doesn't care about Adam, George. He doesn't care about you, Steve. He doesn't care about any of the fans. He doesn't care about any of the fans because at the end of the day, the people that are investing money in the WWE, the shareholders, are who he's trying to make happy. These people keep getting fired. And ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for it, but oh well. Vince thinks that we're all stupid, and it's true. Like, wrestling fans are stupid in Vince's eyes because he doesn't care about stories. He doesn't care about any of the things that we want. The Hurt Business. We all want the Hurt Business to stay together. Why break up the Hurt Business? Just to put fucking T-Bar and G-String or Slapjack or Busted Nuts, wherever the fuck his name is, put them together with Bobby Lashley. Why would you do something stupid like that? You know why? Because the fans liked it. So the fans liked it. Give me that. I'm taking it away. Now, merchandising, toys, video games, T-shirts, hats, all that cool shit. That's what Vince cares about because that's profit. That's money. And people are stupid. They're going to buy all this is what Vince thinks. People are stupid. They're going to buy all the shirts. They're going to buy all the hats. They're going to buy all the T-shirts. All this stuff. It's all about profit. It's not about the product. Steve said the product is like what most people in business talk about. We're building a product to help make sales. And make sales will make more revenue. More revenue will be this and that. No, what Vince cares about is making enough money to keep the investors happy, because when the investors are happy, when NBC is happy, when the Peacock Network is happy, when John down the street, who puts like $6 billion into the WWE through stocks, when he does that, that's all he cares about. That's all he cares about. So in the end of the day, it's not about wrestling. It's about making that money.
Also, what I will say is there's a bit of a misdirect in general right now about, and I think things like GameStop and AMC are kind of shattering that ceiling, that in our society, what we think is that the economy is directly tied to the, we absolutely don't matter. I've seen it. Yep.
True
the economy, what we think is the economy is tied directly to the stock market, and it could not be further from the truth. The stock market is a bunch of billionaires at a casino, and the news is trying to point to so-and-so bet on red. Therefore, that's why the hot dog is double outside on the street with you peasants.
Yeah.
They have nothing
Yeah.
to do with each other. And similarly, the shareholder value that WWE brings, if enough people buy the stock, means absolutely nothing to what the business of WWE is. I don't know how I wound up here, but the stock market is a complete scam.
Well, let's do
Hey,
this.
Dogecoin to the moon, damn it.
Yeah, that's
I
right,
mean,
that's right.
That's
Let's
a
do
pump
this,
and
guys.
dump. We all know it.
Before we get any more into this, let's go to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
When you want to get your hair cut, you go get your hair cut right. You head down to Big D's Barbershop. Big D's Barbershop, Vancouver, Washington's best and brightest. 1019 Main Street, Vancouver, Washington, where you can go get your hair lined up, cuts, fades, shampoos, conditions, and all the great things that go with supporting a local barbershop in a local business area. You can also reach them online at www.bigdsbarbershop.com. Go get your haircut right.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are joined by another individual here at the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Brother, what's up?
Too sweet, everybody. Too sweet.
Just sweet.
Sorry I'm
Boom.
late. I was having dinner with the wife.
No
Sometimes
worries.
you got to,
It's
bro.
Eddie Torres of the Rock and Roll Beer Guy podcast. Yay!
Thank you for having me, guys. I'm here to
Man,
talk about
thanks
the
for joining
Fiend
us.
and only the Fiend.
You can just
Man,
imagine.
Don McGuire had this to say to you, Adam Woods.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, good sir. And Don McGuire has the fighter's voice with Don McGuire, so you guys should also follow that. So yeah,
Like, click,
man.
and subscribe.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, I'm glad that Eddie's here because we're talking about, he wants to talk about the Fiend. Well, the brother of the Fiend, Bo Dallas, is one of the ones that was released. I'm
Right.
kind of not surprised, but
I mean,
again,
he's been on the shelf for like a year and a half.
I think more people are surprised at the fact that Bo Dallas hasn't been released so far.
Right? I
I
thought he was
still
already
bowl. I
fired.
still believe, man.
Believe.
I still
That was the best
believe.
gimmick ever, though, man. Like, because he was so over the top that you just fucking hated him.
Yeah.
You know, with his fucking Kool-Aid smile. Believe. But you know what's really messed up is that here in the United States, we have people that listen to us over in the UK and apparently in Saudi Arabia, which is weird. But in the United States, today is tax day.
Oh yeah.
So the son of IRS gets fired on tax day. Wow. That'd be
Y'all, I forgot to do something. I think I got to get off this chat.
Uh-oh. You
Gotta
didn't
get
pay
your
your
taxes.
It's okay.
They
There's an
extended it
extension.
today.
They extended it.
Okay,
yeah.
I was like, yo, IRS, if you watching, it's in the mail. Don't worry about it.
Yes,
Oh,
the check
that's
is in the mail.
Don't worry about it.
Oh,
if you
man.
don't have it, it's the postal service's fault.
Yeah. See, the U.S. Postal Service is on strike right now. You know, postal services don't want to help you pay your taxes.
Hey, I did my taxes way early. I wanted that. Make sure I get that stimulus check. I don't want anything to interfere with that nonsense. So
Hashtag Stimmy.
that's right. Put that stimmy in some Dogecoin. I'm having a good day, celebrating with 2 beers. Boom.
beers. Man. Okay, so Adam, you were bringing up the the brother of the Fiend, Bo Dallas. Who else got released today?
So we also have, I mean, we talked about Tucker, talked about Chelsea Green, Mickey James, Kalisto, yeah, and Mojo Rowley, which I think
Was Mojo was released? I didn't see that one.
Mhm. That
Yes.
was late in the day.
Oh, but he was gonna come back with the broken glass face.
Oh, I hate Mojo Rawley. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. These are my opinions, and not the opinions of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast or these other four gentlemen. I fucking hate Mojo Rawley.
You could look. I had an old podcast that was about wrestling, and we had a talk. It was my buddy Zach's idea, but he could have been a really good heater in a new kind of Four Horsemen stable where he wouldn't say a word, just a big jack dude, the heater in the back. He could have done that. They never did anything with it. So what can you do?
What can you do? What can you do? Just saying. Yeah.
I can't believe they got rid of Samoa Joe, man. That's the one that hurts me the most. That makes no sense at all from these cuts.
Man, it doesn't make
Facts.
sense.
I mean, again, I no, but I'm saying like I'm very upset at the fact that he got released, but he hasn't wrestled in forever. I mean, he's maybe a guy that like maybe they just thought like he was too injury prone. Either that or maybe he just wanted out. He just, I mean, I try to make sense of pretty much every release, right? Where I'm like, I mean, well, he hasn't wrestled in forever, Billy Kay still shocks me to this second.
I could make sense of Samoa Joe wanting to be a wrestler and wanting to be paid as a wrestler, and them just not seeing him that way. That it's like, no, that's not who.
And it's also like a curse, where right, like because as a color commentator, he was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He really was phenomenal. But now, what ends up happening? They think you're too good. They think you're a better commentator than you are a wrestler. I'm not. I see that. I see because he was a great commentator, but he also, as a guy that has watched him at PWG. I want to say Ring of Honor, but I wasn't really in tune with Ring of Honor. But I did see him at PWG, and he absolutely killed it in TNA. I know he has value as a pro wrestler, but again, when you show that you're good at something else, they might want to keep you there.
Oh, I've got an interesting Joe theory here.
SoCal. Hold on 1 second, Adam.
No, so
1 second.
No, Adam, you gotta wait.
Oh,
down in SoCal.
Just wait.
At UPW.
Clearly, BJ is trying to talk. You guys are being rude for not allowing him to talk.
Trying to get my smooth jazz.
I mean, seriously.
No, down at UPW in SoCal, when I first started out down there, Samoa Joe was one of the guys that was training. So not only is he good at commentary, he's good at wrestling, but he's good at training as well. Like he had such a fucking plethora of things that he did so well, which, I mean, if he was going to wrestle, he could be like Adam Pearce. He can fucking, be a good producer or something, like, I don't know. I mean, you may be right, George. He may have been wanting more money as a wrestler and not a commentator. And I'm pretty sure Adam has some legitimacy to that.
Okay, so here's my theory on Samoa Joe. So
here's my theory on Samoa Joe.
And then mine will come in after yours. Yours is George.
So, okay. So he famously, first off, he was never supposed to make it out of NXT, right? He had an NXT contract.
That was the story, yeah.
Right. That he was never supposed to be brought up to the main roster, theoretically, right? Mm-hmm. He gets to the main roster, he injures Tyson Kidd, TJ Wilson, right? Career-altering injury. So I think this might be like the blowback where like they would rather have, even though there's no heat theoretically, well, look at what he did. You want to be a wrestler, Joe? Okay, but you injured like one of our guys who, again, is from the same family tree, theoretically, of a person that I screwed way back in the day and what have you. Well, guess what? You injured him. We're going to keep him because we screwed over Brett and killed Owen. And
don't forget on his very first night on the main roster, he injured Seth Rollins. Whether it's an accident or not, like obviously, no, I'm not 110% for sure that he didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
It still happened. And not only that, I mean, again, you guys are going to hate me for the comparison. Talent-wise, they could not be more opposite ends. But you have Samoa Joe and you have Ahmed Johnson. People look back at Ahmed Johnson. He had two problems, right? He had two problems. One, he always injured people, and two, he was always injured. Unfortunately, I think we can say the same about Samoa Joe, where you going back to I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it, Adam, about the whole Tyson Kidd thing. Do I think there's blowback? I don't think so, but you'd be surprised what stays with people, even subconsciously, where it's like, we'd love to do more with them, but I can't, they themselves can't think why it is they don't want to put somebody at the next level. It's just subconscious where it's like, the Tyson Kidd, the Seth Rollins, and he kind of has an injury of being hurt. Because even before the last time he was active, he was injured for a while, even before then. So it was like long injury, came back for a little bit, and now he's been gone for a long time. Again, unfortunate comparison about Ahmed. Go ahead, BJ.
Let's talk about rebuttal with that, okay? You talk about Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson was fucking horrible.
Again,
he was horrible.
Talent-wise,
he didn't take his time. He didn't pace himself with working. And George, you're a worker. You understand what I mean by this. He wanted to do so many things at so many times, and he didn't have the pace. That's why people got hurt. Same thing with Nia Jax. So you want to talk about blowback? Nia Jax hurts every motherfucker. And she won half of the women's tag team champions. Yeah. But
she's also related to The Rock, so
but when she's not hurting people, she's hurt.
Yeah. So but she's related to The Rock. Look at the Usos; they get away with DUIs and shit. So like, you can get away with whatever you want if you're related to The Rock.
If that was the case, and I have a rebuttal for that, if that was the case, Manu would still have a job, and Sim Snuka.
Shit, he's right. Well, Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Superfly had a job, and he allegedly killed somebody. So fuck.
And we can't remember about Sim.
Have to catch the Undertaker though.
Yes, 100%.
Samoan Dynasty.
You can't drop the Undertaker.
Yeah, you just can't. You can't let Undertaker almost die. So
no, that gets you automatically banned. You're black off in the business of that.
Before we move on from Samoa Joe, I saw something that Ryan Loco, famed photographer of MMA and pro wrestling, posted on Twitter. Samoa Joe versus Josh Barnett at Bloodsport. I want that so much. So much.
Can you get a bigger erection, Adam?
Adam's like, I don't need Bluetooth for that.
Is that the microphone or something else?
That was on the bottom of bottom of the table.
Yeah, sorry.
Adam says he doesn't need Bluetooth for that.
No, damn right.
I'm a big fan, and I saw it all over Twitter today. I'm a big fan of continuity, and Steve will love this too. Where there's a GIF or GIF.
GIF.
I saw a GIF of of Samoa Joe walking backstage, and he pushes a younger MJF when he was an extra. I would love for them to somehow incorporate that into like an AEW feud.
Did you see MJF post? Would you guys please stop posting that?
Yeah.
Also, if we're just gonna fantasy book, Samoa Joe Okada, Samoa Joe Toru Yano, Samoa Joe Will Ospreay, Samoa Joe Yoshihashi. I'll just go run down the New Japan.
Can I say on a complete tangent, just because you brought him up, I hate Will Ospreay, and it is no fault of his own. It is 100% the fault of Dave Meltzer. Because I don't follow him or anything, but somebody retweeted it, and like after Seth Rollins did, I think it was probably that corkscrew splash that was beautiful at WrestleMania, or just the match in general. Dave just put like, oh, Seth has been clearly watching Will Ospreay, and I'm like, you're making me hate one of the best wrestlers in the entire world. Like, can you just stop, please?
All these comparisons
just stop
you hate him. Like, it's crazy.
Like, nobody's bringing him up. Nobody brought up Will Ospreay except for Dave Meltzer, and I'm like, just stop.
Are you gonna relate Will Ospreay to Tom McGee, George? That's what I'm feeling that.
No, Will Ospreay is amazing. I can't say any great things about Will Ospreay. Like, he does things that is just impossible to do, and kudos to him.
You went with Samoa Joe, Ahmed Johnson, so I'm all like,
well, no, I mean, like I said,
Minoru Suzuki.
Ooh.
Talk about a stiff ass fight, right?
Just slap chops all day. Just
somebody getting their ass whooped.
That's all I want.
Also, Samoa Joe Walter, which I understand Walter is technically a WWE talent, but it sounds like Walter gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. So why not?
Yeah. Samoa Joe
Well-
Ishii.
Joe is going to
Yeah,
get paid.
yeah.
That guy's going to get. He's going to make his money.
Hey,
Oh,
but you know, we talk about all these guys that got released today. What about some of the guys that got released last year that came back? Like Drew. Drew came back and just fucking made a killing. Like he's like doing the most. And
McIntyre.
Yeah.
Drew didn't get.
I mean,
Drew
he wasn't
went
released
over.
last year, but he wasn't there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like he was gone.
Yeah.
And he came
Previously
back after all
released,
this
yeah.
massive release.
Oh,
you
okay.
know?
Oh, just like in general.
Yeah, like in general,
People who
like
get
people that
released.
were. Yeah, then you got fucking.
You even look at Jinder Mahal.
I was just gonna say, what the fuck? Jinder Mahal was at WrestleMania. He was in his gear, but he still has a job.
Yeah. That's the
So,
greatest WWE World Heavyweight Champion that you're talking about. So
The Maharaja.
the Maharaja.
That's the greatest nickname ever, to be honest.
Look,
with
I
you.
hated
Oh,
him
man.
the entire time until the very moment he stood up with the belt, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that makes
100%.
sense."
I mean, like I
Bad
said,
liver,
crazy.
damn it.
like I mentioned, it's not the end of the
Crazy.
road.
I was at Wale Mania a couple years ago. I was Raven, and Willie
not
Mack.
Whale Mania?
Huh?
That's not Whale Mania.
Wale Mania.
I'm kidding.
So we walk in, and like everybody's like, "Hey, what's up?" Blah blah blah. It's like a big ass party. And then all of a sudden, I see this dude, big as fuck, with the skinniest fucking legs ever.
Great Khali?
And, dude, no, his legs were skinnier than Khali, bro. Like he's so big upper body wise, and he was like wearing some shorts and like some flip flops, smoking a hookah. And I was like, God damn, his legs were skinny as fuck.
All right, let me ask you something. What do I have to do to get invited to Wale Mania?
Well,
Am I kind of like I just got to be in the crowd?
I mean, you just gotta know people. You gotta know
All right.
people. Know people.
I don't know.
Welcome to Andy Rey Mysterio.
I didn't know if there's like a code word I can say. That says
The code word is
Does it grab them cakes?
Ooh.
well, shit. That might get us. No, that right there would get you on the fucking. That would get you on the list.
Dude,
I-
everybody that I know is on
I
this
think it's on the
podcast
Joey
right now.
Ryan list.
I used to no, I was gonna say like I used to when I was just got my license back in the day, I used to go down to like the South Centrals and the Crenshaws, and I used to grab them cakes, and then every time somebody would look at me, I'd look at them, I'd be like, you know what, I got you.
So
Yeah, grab them cakes, homie.
shout out to
JYD.
Shout out to Chelsea Green, who just tweeted an hour ago, "Hey, at Barstool Sports, I just got fired from the WWE. Do you need a female wrestling podcast?"
Heyo.
Work that angle,
Yeah.
girl.
Heyo.
That's right. Make
She
that
could
money.
probably
Don't
start
let
that
money make you.
tomorrow.
Can I give a hot take, and you guys are gonna hate me for this? I
Did
never
you
thought she.
joke?
I never thought she was all that. She did not impress me at all.
I mean, neither. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
I always confuse her with Britt Baker for the longest.
Britt Baker's amazing, but let me just say,
she's definitely stood
Chelsea
out.
Green, one of the coolest girls. Like I cannot say how cool she was
oh yeah.
when I met her backstage at a show. But I never saw it. I'm not surprised she got released. I'm surprised that she got released at the fact that, like, it sounded like they were going to bring her back soon. But I'm just like, I never thought she was that great. But I never thought she was that great to begin with.
They literally just re-signed her like 2 weeks ago.
I don't think in the last 2 years WWE has really put her in a position to actually show what she can do.
Right.
What can she do?
Except for the one time on SmackDown where she broke her arm.
I mean, I watched her
and her return match.
I watch her in Impact every week, and again, I never saw it.
Oh, she did
I
a
didn't
hot
love-
mess gimmick, didn't she?
I didn't love the hot mess gimmick, but I loved the creative mind runs free hot mess gimmick. So, like, if you read an old WWF magazine by Vic Venom, you can see, but hear me out. Like, you can see, like, man, if this person had a good filter and some guardrails, his ideas are just so all over the place that if you narrowed them into something, you could have something great. That's kind of how I felt about seeing the hot mess gimmick. Like, man, if we can kind of narrow her into something, I'll say it better. She as a performer can deliver. That's how I felt about Chelsea Green.
I felt the same way about her, but I felt about Deonna Purrazzo. I'm like, I think they're completely overrated.
Well, Matt Cardona posted about 8 hours ago.
Of course he
a
did.
fucking star, and he posted that picture of her in a hot mess gimmick. So
Of course he did. He's trying to get in there tonight.
Oh no,
And-
she's got
and
she's got
3
hot
hours
mess.
ago. Yeah, 3 hours ago she posted "Forever grateful for that Impact trusting me with this," and basically she's posting Impact Wrestling and now Lucha Underground stuff. Her and Penta, you know, she's talking about her matches with Penta. So I mean,
Yeah.
she's like,
selling
hey,
shirts. She's selling hot mess
check it
shirts
out.
again. So she's gonna
It
get
says-
Reclusa.
3 hours ago she posted, "Hey Penta, maybe seeing you sooner than you thought." What does that mean?
Yeah, that's
AEW?
just they're always working.
I mean, you know,
trying to find an
her
angle. It's
and-
like
her and
Enzo
Brandy-
trying to figure out where he
Mhm.
belongs.
Her and Brandy are really good friends. So
That's that.
But
I think she's gonna actually come out the strongest out of it. I think we've never. I mean, the real life couple of her and Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder, right? Those two
Whoa,
are
whoa.
very. Yeah, those two are very like. I mean, he's always ready. You know, whatever. I think they've got enough creative juices behind them, and you know, with each other, the cohesiveness that I would love to see what they're gonna end up do. Hopefully together. You know, somebody, whether it be AEW or Impact or somewhere, they end up and they get to work something together. I think they could be magic, and the things that you guys maybe don't see in her, she can kind of bring it out.
okay, let's do this, guys. Let's do this while we got everybody here. The people who got fired today, the people who got unceremoniously future endeavored, where do you see them going? I'll give you a name. You tell me where you see them going. We'll start with Tucker. Tucker.
We're gonna go in
Indie-
order. How
Yeah,
are we doing this?
Yeah, we'll go in order. Start with George. Tucker.
All right.
pass.
Yeah,
Okay, Adam.
I say wherever the Texas Heavyweight Championship, that what's the guy from the Texas guy from the Bullet Club, like that promotion, whatever that is, that's where Tucker's going.
All Japan.
Okay.
No,
All Japan? No.
no, it's like a Texas indie.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
The thing that Lacey Von Erich is doing.
SWE.
SWE. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
where he goes.
Okay.
I think he's gonna go away for a while, start a weed business.
Call it Tuckies and
Yeah.
Rolls.
Yeah, I mean he posted a picture of himself smoking a joint playing golf today. So he's gonna
Oh,
go
was that
work.
a joint? Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
totally a joint. He's gonna go work in the weed business and maybe come back to MLW and then disappear again. I mean, I don't think he's gonna do much.
Okay.
Yep.
Stevie?
Similarly, I think he has a story to tell that we've not necessarily heard. So in 90 days, he's going to tell that, and he's going to get some headlines on that, and probably get a lot of indie bookings on that. And he'll probably be able, that coupled with like a shoot job, a regular job, will probably be enough to sustain him for the rest of his life.
I think, and again, I'm assuming whatever we mentioned, whether it's MLW, whatever, we're all assuming that they're viable options. So when I say NWA, I think of it as, I know they're having shows again. I think of it as a viable option. So I think he does go to the NWA route, where you have guys like Trevor Murdoch, who's doing pretty good in there. You have somebody like an Aaron Stevens doing pretty good over there. Again, not thinking financially. I'm just thinking as far as exposure, that NWA still has an audience. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like a Tucker Knight goes to NWA.
I consider that a part of the indies as well, though.
NWA. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you think he's going, Steve?
No, that's where I think he's the indies,
NWA.
probably NWA, some MLW. He'd love to go to AEW. I don't know how much more personnel AEW can take on.
I mean, they got that con coin, you know.
Are we
Okay.
bringing the con bucks to the moon? Or are we just going to
The
pump and
con
dump?
bucks to the moon, baby. To the moon.
Can we pump?
Okay.
Can we create a crypto around Tony Khan and then pump and dump it?
Oh, we should.
Can we
Dude,
start
let's
here
do
and now?
that.
Yes.
Right.
And then
Okay,
one of the
so
first people to buy it should be Nick Khan, who works at the WWE.
WWE, right?
Book it, Steve.
Okay, so-
Book it.
Okay,
Let's
what's
say
a crypto?
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, because I want to put the Iconics back together. George.
anywhere they want to fucking go, because I think that is the biggest travesty. I'm gonna go on a rant now, so just go ahead, take a break, take a piss, whatever you need to go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let me just say I am such a WWE mark, but I am always willing to criticize them. So the fact that they have the wherewithal to not only split them up to begin with, but have Peyton Royce, who the rumor was they saw money in Peyton Royce, which is why they wanted to split them up, but to have her go from the Iconics, not have her in a singles, and then put her with Lacey Evans. And then it's like, how are you going to go from a tag team to a tag team, right? And then you have Billie Kay, who actually was, the person that was shining the most out of the split. And then this is what that pisses me off the most about this whole situation is that you have. I can curse, right? I already said a bad word. Can I
say whatever the fuck you want?
You have, and again, I'm such a WWE mark when I say this. They have such a shitty women's tag division, right? You have Shayna and Nia that like Nia and Tamina should be a tag team, right? Even Shayna, Queen of Spades, and Natty, the Hearts, like that itself is like Spades, Hearts. I don't know. I dig it. I think they should have been a tag team, so that they should have been a tag team. If you were going to force to be somebody in a tag team, Riot Squad, I dig. Even like Mandy and Dana, like I dig their vibe, whatever. But like for you guys to have a shitty tag division and then release both Iconics when you guys could have easily, because God knows they can easily just completely wipe their butts with continuity. They could have easily put them back together and have them back in the shitty tag division that they have, but instead they want to release them instead. So, and again, I'm so baffled at more so Billy. I think they both getting released as a travesty, but I want to say AEW can be an end all be all. So I'd like them to end up there. Obviously, the easy answer would be there, just because people just have a tendency to automatically flock. Oh, well, Peyton's married to Sean Spears, so she's gonna go there. I'd like for them to go to Impact first, because they actually, not to say that Impact's had a great tag division either, but at least I feel like they'll be appreciated more. And I'd like to see what they can do against the what's the girl's name? The champions, Kira Hogan, and
Kira Hogan
and I forgot her name.
Tasha Steelz? No?
Tasha Steele. Yeah, Tasha Steelz. I'd love for them to see what they can do there. Obviously, anytime you put a microphone in front of the Billy or Peyton, it's just so money. But yeah, I predict Impact. I'd like to see them go to Impact first, dominate there for a year, and then end up in AEW.
No, that's a good question. That's a good point with the whole Sean Spears, gimmick. Sean Spears is in AEW. And then they're friends with Cody and they're friends with Brandy. But look, Matt Cardona is Cody's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in AEW for a cup of water.
And even like
a cup of coffee, just a cup of water.
I forgot who I was talking to about this, and everybody kind of assumed like, how is Damian Sandow not in AEW? Like he was a team, the Rhodes Scholars with Cody Rhodes. It's like, so I don't want to be that guy that says, oh, so-and-so is married, so he's going to go there. Oh, so-and-so is best friends with this person, so he's going to go there. Like, if it was me, if I was in their shoes, I'd like to kind of explore what's out there. And then at some point, if AEW is still an option, I would like to end up there, because I'm sure you can make good money in AEW working that schedule and still make top dollar. But I'd like to see them kind of make their ways around different companies in the country, wherever it makes sense. And I think for now, I think Impact makes sense.
Okay, Adam.
No, I agree with George 100%. Yeah, I think just historically, when you go back to the Beautiful People, Impact has had a way of featuring female talent, tag team talent. We can even go back to Gail Kim. Gail Kim was doing stuff with America's Most Wanted when there wasn't even a women's division, and she kind of brought that up. So I think that works. But I also see her in AEW. But then since there's cross-pollination between the two brands, it seems like, right? So they win the titles from Tasha Steelz and Kira Hogan, and then they take it over to AEW and start defending it there against whoever is there. I don't know who's there.
Although you know who and I'm sorry to kind of cut you off, but I kind of just had a thought in my mind when you said cross pollination. I would love, and I mean love, for one or both of them to even go to Stardom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just to be like, hey, you know what? One of them was trained by Lance Storm. The other one, I know, she's got experience. I mean, but they still got that PC training with the Robbie Brookside, Sarah Del Rey. Like, I'm sure they can handle their own in Stardom. So for them to even maybe go there for a little bit and then come back to the US with that a little bit of a stronger style and then just completely kick everyone's ass, like, man, like, again, I think sky's the limit for either one of them.
Here's the thing about that whole Stardom thing. If they do go to AEW, remember AEW has an open contract. They have a working arrangement with NWA, with the Joshis, with All Stardom, with Shine, with Shimmer. Then they also have the Impact Wrestling women. So there's so many places that AEW has linked up with that will benefit all these women. Billy and Peyton can go to fucking Japan and just kill it over there. Like you're saying, go to Japan, kill it over there, put the work in. Go to Impact Wrestling, kill it over there, put the work in.
The only thing that I think would maybe prevent that from happening is maybe like a visa situation, because obviously I know they're not in the. I know Peyton is married, so maybe she doesn't have an issue with that part. But still, being able to go over and travel in Japan without like really, I feel like maybe that might be more of a hassle for paperwork. Even though I think if they were able to figure it out, I think it'd be awesome. But I do think that may be something that they'd have to consider. But yeah, I'd love for them to kind of at least explore that option.
Okay.
Eddie?
Oh.
Eddie.
I don't like the Iconics. I never got it. I never understood it. All my friends were like, "Oh my god, they're amazing." I'm like, so annoying. They're so annoying.
That was the point.
Maybe that's the point. Yeah, but that's the gimmick. But like, they took it to that one level where like, yeah, you're annoying because you're a heel. But I don't even want to see you on TV. Like that's, if you're going to be a heel, I want to see you on TV and make me mad. I want to see people beat you up, but I don't even want to see them on TV. Like, I hope Billie Kay goes back to Australia, or she's from Australia, right? And Peyton Royce, she can do a singles career in AEW. That'd be great. And I just don't like the Iconics. I think together they're just those annoying girls from high school, and I don't want to be near them. So that's my hot take. My hot take.
Wow.
I will say their whole character, the whole point of their character is to ride the line of go away heat. You're the first person I've ever heard actually say they have go away heat with them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to see him. I'm good. Peyton's the only one. I could take singles Peyton, but like, yeah, Iconics together. Like, nope.
I think we're going to see.
You've got to be joking me.
I'm serious.
You've got to be joking me.
I think we're going to see Billie Kay go back to Australia. Billie Kay's Australian, correct?
Yeah, but she's Australian, but I don't see him moving back to Australia.
No, not forever, but I think for the next year or two, I think Billie Kay's going to go to Australia. I think they're going to go separate ways. I think Peyton Royce is probably going to wind up somewhere like Impact, and then within 2 or 3 years from now, they're either going to reunite in a completely different WWE, because I think in the next 5 years, WWE is going to be purchased by another company. And Triple H and Stephanie are just going to run it. I know this is a weird place to put in this prediction, but I think we'll get them reunited. I likely on WWE TV, because you're never fired for too long over there.
Right.
If you keep making I'm saying you're never fired for too long at the WWE, but also Disney.
I'm saying, do you think Disney buys WWE?
Pre NBC Universal deal, I would have bet my life on it.
That's
post
true.
That deal, I think Comcast, Universal, and Disney and Amazon are all angling for this type of product. Because I don't know if Amazon has ever been in the mix, but I think Amazon is trying to own the entire consumer experience, from the food you're eating to the show you're watching, from the TV you're watching it on. Yeah. And WWE is a merch machine. So I think the three front runners for such a thing are Disney, Universal, or Amazon. I think if Disney buys them, you get the extra bonus of having a physical Hall of Fame in a themed land at one of many theme parks. But Anyway, the Iconics.
Yeah. Sorry. Derailed.
That's just like a 5-year. Like I think Wall Street, for whatever reason, doesn't like the idea of Triple H as a standalone CEO to a point where I could see Disney purchasing the company and then the CEO of that company not being anyone we've ever heard of. Maybe Nick Khan. I don't know. And that Triple H and Stephanie like run the wrestling stuff, but then there's a CEO who runs the corporation.
You know what would be funny with that whole situation? What if Tony Khan bought the WWE just to piss Raven off?
Only reason.
The only fucking reason, man.
God, I wish I had that much money.
Like
Right?
Raven, like Scott Levy Raven?
Yes,
No,
yes,
like Raven
yes,
Berry.
yeah. Because we're not gonna put over any other Raven.
Yeah, exactly. That's so Raven.
That's so,
Raven Simone.
that's so
right.
Raven.
So we're gonna go to
I don't even know what Steve Answers was. Like, where do you see Peyton Royce in 6 months?
Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
Impact Wrestling.
I
And
see
Billy
Billy Kay
Kay
in
in
Australia, and I just don't know the
You want
federations in
Billy Kay to go to
Australia.
Australia?
It's PWA. You never heard of PWA?
Yeah, actually, I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Kalisto. Or let's not.
And let me just say, you fuckers better not say Triple H just because he's Mexican.
That wasn't even it.
So I think he goes to CMLL. No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say, is you leaving that out there for us?
No, honestly, I do think based on like just kind of how much like AAA has kind of grown overall, like Triple Mania is a thing, guys. Like Triple Mania is kind of a must-see event, and I'd love to
That was
see.
the very first one.
Oh, nice. We're in 1972.
Shut the fuck up. in the bull rink in Tijuana, Mexico. It was pretty shitty, but okay.
But I do see him at least going to AAA for maybe like even as a part timer. Like I said, Triple Mania is a thing now. That's kind of become a must see event every year. So with somebody like a Kalisto who is still very relatively young, I'd love to see him go there and maybe like him tear it up against Phoenix.
Well, what about Lucha Underground?
Is that even a thing?
Well, yeah. What about
coming
Lucha
back.
Underground?
Yeah,
It's coming back.
I don't think there's a way for Kalisto to go back in time and be a part of season 3 or season 4.
Hey,
There
Time
are
Splitter.
talks of Lucha Underground coming back, but it's not official yet.
There are always
Yeah.
talks of Lucha Underground
Yeah.
coming back.
As long
It's-
as they bring back Joey Ryan, then I'm fine with it.
Ooh. Oh, God. Ooh.
their YouTube will get taken down.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were not the comments from the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, and we will
Yes,
not.
it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, it says the guy that played a full-on Joey Ryan match after the whole
Hey.
thing happened.
Hey, did you not notice the beginning of the 503 original commercial? Did you not notice it? Should I show you again, Adam, since you love that commercial so much? Should I show you? Look. Joey Ryan
Yeah.
is gone from that
Yeah.
commercial.
From the commercial, but you full-on played a whole match. I thought I was gonna get canceled. My goodness, So
We're not
I
trying to
think
get canceled.
yeah, I think this is a good time for me to pick my place of where Kalisto ends up. I actually think he goes to Impact Wrestling, and here's why: what they were trying to do with obviously the Lucha Brothers pre-AEW, I think he fills that void pretty well. I think he gets a title run, like a world title run, out of it, and
A
has
world title run?
look at Rich Swann.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay.
That's very
okay.
true.
You
Rich
got
Swann,
me there.
I'm sorry. A talented pro wrestler. My goodness. He's promo skills aplenty and whatever. But the crap that he did to Su Young, and he looks like he jumped out of the trash can. Like, what in the hell?
He looked just like your boy Charles Bennett.
Willie Mack will slap you for that.
Crazy horse.
Facts. Yeah, so I see him in Impact filling the role that Penta did when he left. So
What was his name?
Okay.
Samurai del Sol, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Samurai Del Sol goes to Impact Wrestling. He'll be Impact.
Okay, so I can see that. I can see matches with him and fucking TJP. him and my boy Josh Alexander, like that would be some shit.
Him and Sammy Callahan had a pretty sweet feud before WWE,
yeah.
and then even in NXT they had they faced off each other in that San Jose show in NXT in 2015.
Oh, that's right. When he was what the fuck was his gimmick name?
Oh,
back in WWE?
shit.
Solomon Crow.
Yeah.
Solomon Crow.
Yeah. Not
Weird
Solomon
shit.
Burke. That's a different one.
Yeah.
I guess I'll jump in. I think I would like to see him pull like a kind of a Moxley thing, where we see him at AAA, we'll see him at New Japan, we'll see him in Impact, we'll see him in AEW. Just have him go around the world and do some good lucha things.
Kalisto in the junior heavyweight division in New Japan. Wow.
That was, by the way, a stab at a little poke at the ribs for his little flub on TV when he was like, "I'm gonna do some good lucha things."
I mean, he can always go wrestle Will Ospreay.
Oof. Yeah, but I would love to see him do the little hopper. New Japan, AAA, Impact, AEW, just do all of it.
I think that's kind of where my head's at too. That at least for the next 12 months, because you're thinking travel business. Because in 12 months, the WWE might be touring again and would need as many people as they had 2 years ago. So and a lot of companies might not have enough capital to lock a mid-level talent like Kalisto down. Then it might be worth being a true independent contractor and appear on Triple Mania, appear at New Japan, appear on Impact Wrestling, appear at Ring of Honor.
Even something as simple as like if they ever come back, Battle of Los Angeles and PWG.
That's like
look at Cody. Look what it did for Cody when he did all that shit. When he left WWE, he hit everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I do think. Did you guys watch the Chris Jericho on Steve Austin show last Sunday?
Some of it, yeah.
I think that to me reminded me how much like just true pure passion for the business Chris Jericho has. And I think similarly when Cody Rhodes did the list, that's what that read like to me, was that Cody Rhodes loves pro wrestling so much that he probably could have gotten a huge deal from Impact or Ring of Honor or this company or that company. That's not what he wanted. He loves pro wrestling so much that he wants to wrestle this list of people. And that's what he did.
He has such a pure baby face. Like, he's such a likable guy because of the lineage that he has. You know what I'm saying? People look at that and they're like, fuck. This guy is actually good. What the fuck was Vince doing? Like, what the fuck was Vince doing, But it's crazy.
Cashing in on the success of the Arrow, obviously.
That's right. Stephen Amell, baby. DC all day. All right, so what do you guys think about...
Oh, Steve didn't go.
Yeah, I did.
He went.
He just went.
Okay.
Pay attention. Get out of the group chat and pay attention.
Adam, stop listening to that smooth jazz.
Oh, man. The wave. Good Lord.
The wave. All right, so speaking of cruiserweights, Wesley Blake, like, he fucking... I mean, he went back down, to NXT, wherever, whatnot, and he was looking pretty good. I mean, he was a guy that was doing good shit, and then all of a sudden he got mixed up with the Forgotten Sons and all that other bullshit. And here's my thing: he didn't do shit wrong. Like, him and Steve Cutler didn't do shit wrong. They just happened to be with someone that did some shit.
Well, Cutler decided to have like a COVID party in New Year's, apparently.
Well, yeah, but that's probably why he got fired.
I mean, unfortunately, Blake and Cutler never really did anything to kind of stand out. So I think their best bet is maybe to get back together and go maybe try the Ring of Honor or the MLW. Because unfortunately, I don't think there's really much value in them as individuals. So hey, get back together. People semi remember you as a tag team. So if you're going to continue with the wrestling thing, you just got to capitalize on what people remember, and it's him and Cutler as a team.
All right, Adam.
Especially since it looks like Murphy isn't going anywhere for now, at least.
Yeah. And wasn't he with Alexa Bliss, or was it Murphy that was with her?
Murphy was with Alexa Bliss. Blake is with the Tough Enough winner, Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee, yeah.
Like the cake, Sarah Lee?
Yes.
There are other women named Sarah Lee.
Oh,
God damn it, Adam. Are you hungry? Is it dinner time? Is that why
Maybe.
you're over here talking about cake?
Yeah, I had a steak and I got some doggy
Oh, were you thinking
biscuits.
about
Hey,
fucking
hey.
George's song about bring the cake?
There you go.
Grab
Is
them.
it
Grab
Twitch
them
stream or
cakes.
you?
Grab them cakes.
Is this how many super chats do we need for Woods to eat the dog biscuits?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh,
Fucking ultra chats.
dude, that's great.
Smooth
I'll be
jazz
down.
chats.
I'm just saying.
Dude, I'm gonna
play that
start it.
trombone.
I'm gonna be like smooth jazz chats. Like if you want Adam to do some crazy shit, sign
Wow.
on for the smooth jazz chats.
That shit is OnlyFans as fuck, is what you're doing, man. Jesus
Shut the
Christ.
fuck up.
Good Lord, nobody wants to see my hairy nipple. But speaking of
Subscribe to
hairy
my
nipples,
OnlyFans.
We wanted to eat you eat dog. We wanted to see you eat dog biscuits.
no,
I got $10 on it right now.
I'll settle for, I don't know, cotton candy peeps. There you go. They've been
I'd take the dog biscuits.
all right, 10 points. No, in terms of Wesley Blake, to me, this guy was like the Marty Jannetty of two tag teams. Now, talented in the ring, but not, just didn't get over, right? Like obviously Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake and Murphy, right? It was Alexa Bliss, and then later, Buddy Murphy, right? And then with the Steve Cutler deal, I would even say like all the heat went on Jackson Riker, literally and figuratively on screen as well as behind the scenes, and that motherfucker's still there. So
Right?
I don't know. So I completely forgot about Ring of Honor. I did. Man, I would love to see Wesley Blake go against Danhausen so much. Like I want nothing in the world to see. I fucking love Danhausen. That dude is like
That's
amazing.
fucking awesome, dude.
He's
He really
tremendous.
is.
Can I say I feel about Danhausen about how this guy feels about the Iconics?
Ooh.
Cannot stand that gimmick. But it's just me. It's just me. I'm just.
Is it the
insecure like
voice?
that.
Is there?
It's everything.
It's the referring to himself in the third person.
It was fine for The Rock.
The Rock does that shit all the time.
Yeah, but
Triple
that's the
H, I'm
fucking
the game.
future president of the United States you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sorry. You're right. Fucking Black Adam himself.
Hey, I'm Black
I ain't
Adam.
talking about Adam Woods.
Did you go? Can I go? Is that
Yeah, go for it, bro.
when I saw the cuts today and I saw that name, I was like, who?
Wait,
Because
that's
he is
Lindsay Angel Neidhart.
technically is a forgotten son. I don't know. I had to look it up. I didn't care for the Forgotten Sons. I'm not a fan of Sons of Anarchy. Not a fan of any of that nonsense. Not a fan of racism either. So I kind of completely just wrote them off completely. And I can't. What pisses me off the most is that he got cut and not the guy who's still standing next to Elias after what he did.
That's what
So,
I'm saying. Like, you get rid of the guy who didn't do shit.
Yeah, well, Vince isn't like the. Anyway, that's a whole other podcast. But I would, what, taking into consideration what I do know from him, I would say NWA Power for him, and then or just I don't care.
Yeah. There should be a IDC wrestling. I don't care wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
we should start it.
I'm gonna hit up IDC. Oh, I don't care.
I don't
care
know.
wrestling.
Whoever will have me. I actually stand by that statement. I think NWA seems most fitting for his skill set. But similarly, I think places like Ring of Honor or even Impact Wrestling, you can get, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, you can get like a 6-month deal at Impact Wrestling. You can get a 1-night trial at Impact Wrestling. You could turn up on AEW Dark for like a night. Like there are a lot of options for someone who used to be on TV and the whole, like a big company just wants to take a look at you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I see here with Wesley Blake.
Okay. So you think Wesley Blake has the goods?
Yeah, I think so. A broader point about pro wrestling in general. I think we need more managers and less wrestlers talking.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't think we would be as lukewarm on Wesley Blake if he continued to not talk and he had a Paul Heyman type explain to you why Wesley Blake is the best thing you're about to see. A Jim Cornette type explain to you why you need to tap out before Wesley Blake steps through those ropes. That's what I think the wrestling business needs more of that.
what was his catchphrase? The best kept secret.
Oh, that was Murphy.
That wasn't even.
They're not indistinguishable. So again,
Right.
Eddie was right in his assumption.
Hey, but look, what if you team with Brian Myers at Impact?
420 wrestling fan, cheers to you.
Yes.
Okay, so
there
what
you go.
about now? Let's really throw this game in fucking high gear because this right here is gonna probably throw a lot of people off. Bo Dallas.
Is everyone going to say Impact Wrestling?
I mean, shit. He does
I don't see a
Impact
place
Wrestling.
for him. I don't see a place for him in AEW. Does anyone see a place for him in AEW?
No.
You're right. It just I never want that to be my first go-to. You know, like so and so got fired. Oh, AEW. So it's like you're right to that sense.
Let him sit Indies.
Honestly, like I'd probably be more lenient to like a Ring of Honor.
Maybe NWA.
What do we know about NWA's finance? Like, are they going to get a TV deal, or are they just behind a paywall at Fight?
They're just behind a paywall at Fight. They're not going to go. Well, I don't know because Fight just got sold to the guy that fucking is a rival of TikTok, the one that does the YouTube star. What's his name? The kid that was at WrestleMania.
Jake
Logan
Paul?
Paul?
Bad Bunny?
Okay, yeah. So Jake Paul, the guy that promotes his fights.
Oh, you like Triller? Or something?
Like,
Triller,
yeah,
right?
his promotion
Triller
company. Yeah,
they just bought Fight. So, like as of yesterday, they bought Fight. So,
What in the fuck? That's like the worst.
Also, you can only get so many viewers for behind the paywall for a weekly show. We're talking about the viability of the NWA right now. Like you can only expect so many people to watch you if you got to pay $10 to see it at all.
I will say, if there was going to be a Drake Maverick of the group, I'd say it'd be Bo Dallas. I'd say it somebody like a Triple H should be like, you know what? If you're not going to use him, let me just rehire him and let's see what we can do. You know,
because he was great. He was great down at fucking NXT.
Mm-hmm.
But even like that back then, he was great at NXT. But right now, I don't think that gimmick will get over too well. You got Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, because that gimmick right now is
he wouldn't
Johnny
be the same
gimmick.
He wouldn't be the same gimmick. The same way like Ember Moon's not exactly the same gimmick she was. When she was in NXT. I don't know. I for some reason I do see Bo Dallas. I see him back in NXT at some point in the next 3 months.
3 months.
Oh, there's your 90-day compete clause. What about you, Adam?
Why would you? That's kind of, to me, it's asinine. But again, I'm not a billionaire from North Carolina moving to Connecticut and shit. So here's this. Like, why not just do something with the person while they're fucking on your roster rather than that? And you could pay them to fucking stay at home if that's the ideology of Jim Ross of, you go away for a while and learn a new hold. You don't actually have to fucking release somebody to do that. Isn't his dad there? Isn't his brother there?
Rotunda's not there anymore. Remember, he got released last April 15th.
Oh, that is true. So they're singling out the Rotundas. Man,
so it's just Wyatt.
How weird is it for the Fiend, like the real life Wyndham Rotunda, where like your dad's gone, your brother's gone,
you're basically gone because they keep fucking burying you. I want to talk about the Fiend.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go on. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
We will get to the
so
Fiend.
angry.
Yeah.
Right,
so
I'll tell you right now.
Go on.
Me and Adam, we had a conversation about WrestleMania, and that's why Billy Silverman fucking hates me now. So.
The referee?
I'm sorry.
The referee,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Shout
know.
out to Billy Silverman.
He hates you, but you shout him out. That's cool. Right on.
He hates you too, Adam. He hates you too.
I mean, there might be a reason why, and it might be beyond what we say. But yeah, well, another story for another day. But I actually think that Bo Dallas actually becomes like the Ted DiBiase Jr. of this kind of group and what have you. He goes away.
Fades away.
He just stays away. Probably, him and Mika do a show on YouTube, his sister, and he probably gets caught in some embezzlement scheme in like 5 years.
Damn, Liv Morgan knows how to pick him.
Right? Right? Yeah. So
Well, I'll be quick because I already kind of said my yelling and screaming. But I
No,
think
please scream more.
I think they should have done something with him and the Fiend. I think that is a very big missed opportunity, and you guys are morons if you're watching WWE.
someone
But
probably is.
now that he's gone or released or whatever, I'd like to see him go like really indie, not ROH Impact indie. I mean, like, you know, PCW Ultra. Like, go do the towns and show off that you can be a badass, and then slowly just do that, and then eventually end up in Evolve or whatever, and then make your way back to NXT. It's going to be a year or two of you doing this, but that's what you got to do in order for them to see some value in you to maybe do something in the future. But that's just me being wishful thinking because they haven't done anything with the Fiend. So, you know, whatever.
You know, and you know, here's the thing, man. Like, it's so fucking funny you mentioned the Fiend because the Undertaker was on Snoop Dogg's little podcast.
Ooh.
And Taker
I
was
have to hear that. I didn't know that happened.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny to watch them do. If I can find a link, I will send it to you guys. It's so funny. But Taker's like, yeah, brother, you know, remember we were rolling back and we were smoking them blunts, and I was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, man, I was pitching to Vince, man. I was pitching to Vince to go ahead and put the Fiend over us, the next Undertaker, man. He had the goods. Like, dude, the fucking Undertaker is like, hey, here's my self-appointed fucking successor to my gimmick. And they were like, nah, we're good. We're fucking good. Fans like the Fiend. Let's bury him.
So stupid, man. So stupid. So much build up for nothing. I got so mad at WrestleMania. I almost turned off the whole event after that. I was like, I'm done. That was good. Yeah, that really upset me. Like,
that was match number one.
Match number one, and you have that moment with Alexa Bliss coming out awesome, like death metal, black metal, you know, paint, whatever, dripping on. She's like this evil queen. Go with the angle of her controlling him and make like the Fiend turn around and completely squash Randy at that moment.
Dude, that
not
would have been
the pin.
That would have been perfect for Bo Dallas to be like the preacher, like the James Mitchell to the Remember James Mitchell used to do that with Abyss?
Yeah. Dude, it would have been great to have all of that, and they had such potential with that character. They have the marketing. Everybody's buying the Fiend masks and the Fiend Christmas sweaters. I was in, and then this, all of that, and then on Monday it's just like, oh yeah, well I guess I don't need Alexa anymore, and she doesn't need me. We're good. All of that was a waste of time. Like, I can't take
ladies and gentlemen, I say this every time we're on the podcast and someone brings up AEW versus WWE storylines. AEW storylines. WWE, what the fuck's a storyline? let's be honest. We'll shoot straight up. Their storylines last no longer than a week, maybe two if you're lucky. The build for WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, Randy and Orton went on for a long time. That's why I was so mad, because it was so much investment into the story, and they actually got me interested. That, you know, I'm like, cool, this has been going on for months. Long-term storytelling, quality work, and then like last minute shit the bed. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know.
It happens.
That's what happens when you get Randy versus Orton at WrestleMania.
God damn it, Adam. Steve, what are your thoughts on the
Bo Dallas? That was my thoughts on Bo Dallas. All about
the baby Fiend. Personally, I think if they don't see any, like, I kind of agree with this release. If they don't see him as someone they could use on television, cut your money. Because I think this guy's money wherever he goes. Impact feels right to me as my, camera cuts out. I kind of said that up top. My guess is Impact, but I would love the idea for him to intentionally decide, I'm not going to do Impact. I'm going to start from the bottom and do all the indies, but then do a weekly vlog on a YouTube channel where he updates us on what he's doing and how he's feeling and where he's progressing.
I can't believe how young he is. He's only 30.
Yeah.
Sure, Jameson says she's not sad to see Bo Dallas go. He was flat and boring.
I agree with you. They were not using him properly. He's got
They didn't
potential. They
give-
just weren't doing anything.
She
didn't
doesn't
give him anything.
believe. Damn it.
Well, he had a moment. He had a moment with the Miz that I thought was great. Him and it was the Miztourage. I liked the
Yeah.
Miztourage. I
thought the
was
B
also-
team. I thought the B team had potential, but like
the team started off with good potential.
Yeah, and they just like, never mind. Like,
They were all better with,
Jesus.
they should have pulled a legacy gimmick with him and Cody Rhodes, and again.
Ooh.
know,
Yeah.
And
I would like
let
to see
them
that
be-
happen at AEW. That'd be cool if he goes over there and
let
does it
them
with
be-
Cody.
Let them be them. Like, hey, I'm not fucking this person. I'm some rotunda, and I'm fucking, I'm Mr. Perfect son. Blah blah. Like, let them be them. Don't give them stupid ass names.
You weren't a fan of
no.
you weren't a fan of Michael McGillicuddy?
No. When I talk to him, he hates that. He hated that gimmick. He fucking hated that gimmick.
Well, at least he wasn't Husky Harris.
Yeah, well, shit. That's even worse. So before we go on to WrestleMania, I want to read something. Adam,
You forgot Mojo.
oh, what? Shit.
Yeah,
Anyway,
where's Mojo going?
like I said,
Hope Mojo goes back to football.
I hope Mojo. Fuck. Anyway,
I'll help him build a YouTube channel where he just does workout videos. He'll be fine.
this fucking guy. So this was sent to me on Tuesday at 4:05 p.m.
Not
This was the day
6:05 Eastern.
I mean, it could have been Easter. I don't fucking know. But this is the video. This is the comment I got from the illustrious Billy Silverman. And I quote, "Didn't like the podcast. First of all, those foul mouths on both of them, I found them to be pompous asses. To me, they came across as entitled and disrespectful of the business. I guess that's what they call them nowadays, smart marks. Now keep in mind, I'm a wrestler. I'm not a fucking mark. I've been in the business well almost 3 decades. So I have an opinion. Adam, you have an opinion. These 3 gentlemen that are on with us, they have an opinion too. And our opinion was, we didn't like some of the shit from WrestleMania. So, with that being said, Billy Silverman can suck the back of my dick and go fuck yourself.
Ooh, the back.
But be sure to like, rate, subscribe, and leave more comments.
Yes,
That's right.
100%.
Please do.
This is interaction. This is a valid interaction.
Yes, and Billy
Please
Silverman.
do.
I haven't drawn a dime in the business, but damn it, I've drawn a Dogecoin or 4,000, and it's going great.
Somebody get Woods a pen and paper so he can draw a dime.
Ah, there
Not that
you go.
hard.
So you can drop it.
I have.
Oh,
with
don't
that
just
being
catch you
said-
6'9" me. Damn it, BJ. But I
So
love
with
Steve
that-
Coffin's idea.
With that being,
I've
with that
drawn a
being
picture
said,
of a dime in this business. Therefore, I've drawn a dime.
There it is. So with that being said, let's cause some heat. WrestleMania. Let's talk about WrestleMania. First off, let's talk about the matches we didn't like.
Eddie?
Eddie,
The
floor
Fiend
is
should have
yours.
squashed Randy Orton in 5 seconds, but it
Wait,
didn't
hold on,
happen.
I have something specific for Eddie right now. Okay,
Oh,
Eddie,
no.
this is your hour. This is your time.
Oh no!
Shoot
The shoot
hour.
No. I don't
Sorry, man,
understand. I don't understand what personal beef Vince or whoever is booking the Fiend. I don't understand. There's a personal beef. There's something happened behind the scenes that someone's pissed off with the Fiend, because from what I understand, the Fiend was given free reign and creative control. What happened? I mean, if he's still under creative control, then okay, take it away from him because he's fucking this up. But if I feel like there's something going on. Like, how can you build this up like this? Like, have the metamorphosis and everything to the new outfit, because I'm really glad they did that, by the way. I thought that was fantastic that they switched away from the melty Fiend, which I was not a fan of at all. So I thought that was great. I thought the Jack in the Box was great. Pop, he comes out, I'm like, holy! I was popping in my living room. That takes a lot these days.
That was cool. That was cool.
I'm not like I'm not a mark. I don't consider myself a smart. I watch wrestling every day like it's work. Like it's on. I'm just like taking notes. I popped for that, and And then the distraction and the pin for what? For what story is this? For what? For Alexa to go away now and be singles as an evil woman, independent. She don't need no man. Look, I don't like it. I don't. It doesn't. My opinion obviously doesn't matter. I don't like that you would waste my time like this. It's offensive to me. Like I'm almost down to just stop watching Raw now. Like I'm gonna just stick to NXT and the other organizations because Raw is just fucking poking me repeatedly in the ribs and like just annoying me at this point. Like, what the hell happened? How do you build this up?
The internet pirates on YouTube cut Raw up to about a 15-minute video that I watch at 2x speed. It's wildly enjoyable. It's the best territory. If you watch Raw that way, it's the best territory in the world.
I might start doing that because man, I can't watch 3 hours of Raw anymore. It's very hard to watch.
The fact that he watches it in 2x speed makes me laugh even more.
Of course. You can tell the difference between a video you want to watch and a video you're just trying to get through or have watched by what speed you watch it at.
Exactly. You watch it at 2x speed. That's fucking double the pleasure, double your fun.
My last comment on the Fiend match is, in what universe does it make sense, aside from the WWE universe, what universe does it make sense to put Randy over after he burned the Fiend alive? The last pay-per-view. Like,
you know.
What? You had your moment. You had your with the hands. Why again? You know what I mean? Like, you could have let him have that moment, make the Fiend this incredible character that's over and powerful and believable as a universal champion. Instead, you've buried him completely.
I'm gonna tell you why. So you know why the Fiend got buried? It's real simple. Fans like the Fiend.
I love the Fiend. Love the Fiend.
When he came out, fans fucking popped so fucking hard. Like it was like they popped a Blue Chew. It was like fucking crazy pop, right? The Jack in the Box gimmick, by far the best WrestleMania gimmick entrance all year. The last 2 years. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Well, last year was easy to top.
Good. Well, yeah, of course, but very, very fucking good, right? But the fans liked it. So the fans liked it. Vince didn't. Oh, nope, fans like this shit. Nope, can't fucking do that again. You're and the reports from Fightful and Wrestle Talk and all those other reputable sources state that the booking for that match had the Fiend going over in the beginning until 3 hours before the show. Vince changed the booking because the fans were giving so much props and putting and getting so over on that gimmick. Like that, the gimmick with him and Alexa Bliss, they should have went over, and then Bliss could have been the pallbearer to the new Undertaker.
Yeah.
So I didn't love this gimmick, but I don't think the implications are as bad as you guys are saying. Hypothetically, is there a way they could still be doing this right?
Yes.
Name me something that could happen by SummerSlam where we look back at this and be like, oh, that was the correct amount of heat. We were super upset, but we're really happy because it brought us here.
I mean, they fucked up. Don't get me wrong. And I'm somebody that thinks that WrestleMania was near perfect both nights, right? But they fucked up. But that doesn't mean they can't make it right. That doesn't mean that it's not. That doesn't mean that they can still go in a different direction. Because obviously, and going back to what you said earlier, or I think it was BJ that said earlier, it's like, including myself, like, we don't have a long-term memory for this shit. Like, we know the factoids and all that stuff, all the nerd stuff, but like, if something cool happens next week, we're gonna forget about all this shit. Like, let's be real, like something cool happens next week, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, it's like, no, like, that's just the way it is, which is not just wrestling, but a lot of stuff. Somebody has a shitty song, and then they have another song that's really dope. Like, it's just the way it is.
So here's what I think. In this, the female Fiend mask.
That'd be cool.
I wanted that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, good. So I have a theory, right? This is the only way that they can make it good in my mind, right? So Alexa Bliss, and here's the weird thing, because like a pin at Mania was like more hazardous than actually being burned and engulfed by flames. I don't know what the hell. Fuck, I don't know. But the only way that they make it right? Lexi Kaufman, right? The real life name of Alexa Bliss, right?
It's Lexi Cabrera.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Ryan Cabrera. And this is where my theory goes, right? Ryan Cabrera was most
You lost me.
famous for
You lost me.
dating the younger sister of Jessica Simpson, Ashley Simpson. So I say, a la like Sherry and Macho Man, Fiend comes back and brings Ashley Simpson to come in and fuck up Alexa Bliss. That's how you make it good.
Yeah, I'm with Steve. I think I'm done, guys. My wife's calling.
Mhm.
No.
I got it.
How about Kim Horton?
Who's married to Diana Ross's son, right? And
Evan
right, and then
Ross.
that brings back Diana. Is she still alive, Diana Ross?
Yeah, she's
think
still
so.
alive.
And then Diana Ross comes out to "I'm Coming Out," which is sampled by Notorious B.I.G. So and then he's gonna come out in a hologram with Puff
my
Daddy
God.
and Mace. Oh, I got you.
Look,
It's all
Once
connected.
again,
I-
WrestleMania. WWE
I-
makes movies.
I think Alexa looked amazing on top of the box with that black ink. It looked death metal as shit. Black metal behemoth videos. I thought it was perfect. I'm like, great. The Dark Queen is here. That's her monster. Destroy. And then eventually you can play the story of they break off. But I feel like this entire buildup with the Fiend and Alexa's playground was to get her to that point, that Dark Queen point. They were building her, turning and getting more perverse and mystical and crazy. And now this is it. This is the birth of her character and her control over the Fiend. The way they painted it on Monday was that they are done with each other. I feel like that's it. Like he's gonna move on. Oh, I didn't need her anymore, and blah blah blah, and she doesn't need him. If that's what ends up happening, like now Alexa gets a singles women's championship run, and she has no interactions with the Fiend at all, and the Fiend is off doing another story with Roman Reigns. It's over, fellas. You ruined it. That's it. Yeah, it's all done. I don't care about the Fiend versus Roman at Mania if it's not with that story together. Like I don't get it.
So Tucker just posted as the real Levi Cooper. Heavy Machinery will live forever, and there's a picture of him at the Performance Center with Otis. Yeah, and Renee Paquette, ladies and gentlemen, Renee Paquette says, and I quote, "How the fuck do you drop the ball with Samoa Joe?"
Bad moves.
I love that she is unapologetically herself.
Injuries aside, how do you drop the ball in Samoa Joe?
Yeah.
What'd you say that one? What was another one? Oh, that was 8 hours ago. I just looked at one from like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, nice.
She's just doing it again. She like tweeted it again. She's like so mad that she tweeted it again.
This one right here makes me laugh though. What does Velveteen Dream do on WWE? How does he have a job? Please, someone tell me.
Maybe he has a really low contract compared to all these other folks because they signed him so early.
So
but
where's Killer Kelly?
It's been like 5 years already.
But like he hasn't worked anywhere else. Like I think he's in their contract system. Maybe that when they're looking at high level contracts for low output, he's just not on that list because they're like, oh, we're only paying him $125,000 a year. We're not going after those deals.
Now that you mention a list, I picture Vince in an office with that list on the wall and him throwing darts. And that's how people get
with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
That he specifically bring me anyone who we're paying more than $250,000 a year and that has not appeared on television in 90 days.
Yeah, and then he just throws darts and poop. Hey, you landed on Samoa Joe. You should really reconsider that. Nope. It's on the darts.
Let me go to WWE shop to see if any of that stuff is on clearance yet. So I agree with everything that Eddie said for the most part. Like my night won't be like deterred by who won or who lost. I'm all about the story as well. I mean, it's annoying. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real about it. It's just a little annoying. It's like you have all that buildup, and essentially, like, if I had paid money to see to go to WrestleMania, whatever, I would have paid money to see Bray Wyatt destroy Randy Orton.
Yes.
So some little things like it's kind of like a silver lining where it's like at least he didn't sell the RKO. He kind of got right back up. So I mean, you can be stunned for like maybe a quick second. Maybe I don't know. Again, it's not like he was selling the RKO. You know what I mean? I do want to see where they're going, But I hope it. I'm praying like Eddie is that the story continues, because if this was all for nothing, like what the hell was the point of all this then? You know, and I'm a big Fiend mark. Like I get goosebumps every time I see his entrance on a big stage, whether it's WrestleMania, 37, or that's the first time he showed up at SummerSlam 2019. Like he's just awesome in every single way. So going back to what I said earlier about how do you just kind of fuck up the Iconics, like how do you guys have a gold mine in this guy Bray Wyatt, who not just the character that he is, but I feel like the real person, Wyndham Rotunda, I think that his mind is just so like genius. Like I think it's borderline just genius, and how you're not able to capitalize on that. By all accounts, it doesn't seem like he's got addiction issues. I heard our boy, not our boy, but Raven, Jewish Raven. I heard by all accounts he was a genius as well, but I heard there were other things that kind of held him back as far as maybe addiction wise. And from all accounts, I don't think that's the case with Bray Wyatt, with the real life Bray Wyatt, who, aside from maybe some marital issues that we heard, and it's all hearsay. Obviously, we don't know what goes behind what the real story. With the whole Corey Graves and Carmella, like he seems to be a family man. He's got a beautiful wife in JoJo. He's got some kids. So everything seems right on a personal end. The mind is there. It's like, how are you not doing this more with this guy who is just everything he does, he touches, it turns to gold. And so that to me is a little puzzling. But again, I'm still going to be tuning into Raw, and I'm hoping to God that there's more to come with this storyline. But again, like Eddie, I think if it was all for nothing, then they're just missing out on so much wasted opportunity.
There's also the I think one of the reasons I get so mad too is one of my favorite characters, and also one of the most money-making characters in all of entertainment, is the Joker. You not agree? Merchandise wise, you could sell merchandise for the Joker anywhere, Spencer's, anywhere you want. He's the Joker of WWE.
Yes.
He had his Harley Quinn. Like you had this. You had it in the bag. What are you doing? It's so upsetting.
Well, but to retort there, I think where WWE messes up with the Fiend Bray Wyatt is that he is the Joker, but nobody's Batman.
Isn't Roman Reigns Batman?
Anybody can be Batman. That's the situation.
Yeah, it can
But
be
they're
anybody.
not-
So
It can be
good.
anybody.
But they haven't done it correctly. Like the closest they've come to positioning someone to be Batman is Goldberg, and
he
they didn't
doesn't-
do that
go ahead.
correctly because
But-
we didn't like Goldberg.
But the thing is, and I think to go with the Joker analogy, he's so good that he doesn't even need a Batman. He's Joaquin Phoenix, where it's like you can get all the accolades in the world, and you don't even have to have your counterpart. Like he's that good, where he doesn't need anybody can be a Batman in his story. But and they still mess that up.
Yeah, you could have made him that, and then build someone new to be Batman. Get some make a new star and get your Batman out of this entire thing.
So
and not Randy
I
Orton.
want to talk about making stars for WWE.
So real time, like actual star building and long-term storytelling, not their strong suit. But I will point out,
But it can be.
But it can be, especially with a character like the Fiend, because it had been made clear time and time again that the Fiend preys on you yourself. So whatever's impure about you, the Fiend knows about it, and that makes him stronger. So unless he faces someone who's pure of heart or becomes pure of heart, he wins. He'll always win. And that I think they spend too much time on the gaga and too much time on the details, and then too much time pivoting week to week, minute to minute, hour to hour. That's who the Fiend is. And if you just stick with that, you'll actually have something. Because then you're right. If you stick to that, anyone can be Batman. Because Braun Strowman can lose because he's not pure of heart at that moment. Or Braun Strowman can win because he finally overcomes his demons and defeats the literal demon in the Fiend.
You had me thinking now. So who would you consider pure of heart right now outside of John Cena?
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
apparently-
Speaking of John Cena,
Canon, according to their canon, John Cena is not even pure of heart.
True, but I mean,
Exactly.
he's the purest, I would say, of all. That really didn't turn heel all the way ever. You know?
Cesaro.
Ooh,
Because you
damn.
like again, you need a white meat, purebred, if you will, baby
But
face.
he's been a heel He was a heel at first, though, right?
No, but if you look at every winner on 2 nights worth of WrestleManias, and then divide it down to men, and then you try to ask that question, who in the WWE right now could be a Superman to Joker? Cesaro is the only answer.
Superman. Yeah, I think Cesaro is Superman. But honestly, though, I don't think there. I mean, is there someone pure that hasn't turned heel ever right now that's working in WWE? I don't think that.
But Pure of Heart. But Pure of Heart. Well, it does.
Rey
They don't
Mysterio
have
Jr.
Ray
Ooh.
or Dominic.
Ray or Dominic. Yeah.
Bad Bunny.
All right, let's move on. I'm done with this now.
Oh shit.
PWI number 19, Bad Bunny.
Oh God.
He's gonna get ranked in the PWI now. Do you have to wrestle like 100
He's gonna be in
matches
the
to get ranked?
top 10. Watch.
Like, what are
He's
the
gonna be in
rules
the
for the
top 10.
PWI?
Speaking of,
God.
so we move on to Bad Bunny. Then I saw the internet blowing up, all stoked about what a great performance he did. Triple H even has a commercial with him about how great he was, and now he's going on tour. I thought people should be giving a lot more credit to John Morrison
and The Miz.
And The Miz. I mean, people are like, "Oh my God, the Canadian Destroyer!" I'm like, that was all Morrison, 100%. That was Morrison slamming himself on his own head while carrying Bad Bunny around. Like that's what happened.
People are putting Bad Bunny over as being the best celebrity, celebrity at a wrestling event.
No.
Well,
Mr. T.
I still think that I mean, like as a wrestler who actually had a wrestling match, Stephen Amell kicked all the ass.
100%.
And he was fucking training with he was training with the elite and with Cody constantly to get better. He was doing the most. Who else had a really good wrestling match that was a celebrity?
Lawrence Taylor,
David Arquette.
He's a fucking wrestler. That doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, and
doesn't count.
I mean, if you're talking about just manias, Lawrence Taylor, look at all the, like, he gets lost in all the fucking, all the WrestleMania highlights and shit like that. Him and
you might as well
Bam
put Steve Mongo, Michael, and Kevin Green in that fucking scenario. Then
Kevin Green wasn't in the WrestleMania, so neither was Mongo. So
Mongo was in the corner of Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was.
So in response to your question, had never been anybody better than Bad Bunny as far as celebrity goes, both WrestleMania or non-WrestleMania. He was amazing. Say what you want about the Destroyer. He held the tag rope, one of the hidden lost arts in pro wrestling. Bad Bunny held the goddamn tag rope. For that alone, in addition to everything else, he's the best celebrity.
That right there,
in a wrestling match.
You fucking got me with that one. Because I mean, no one holds a tag rope.
I can't help but think, because Bad Bunny himself moved to Orlando and was in the Performance Center every day. If you're doing that much cardio at the Performance Center, you probably listen to a lot of podcasts. How much you want to bet he listens to Jim Cornette?
Yeah, 100%.
I think Bad Bunny has. I feel like Bad Bunny has heard the Jim Cornette experience and is listening of like, how do I make sure that this guy doesn't cut a promo on me after my WrestleMania match?
That's funny.
That's facts, though. I think
it is. Well, we made our WrestleMania predictions. Me and Adam, and I believe we had Amber.
Amber?
I can't think of her name right now.
Bob.
Y'all had Ember Moon on this show?
Yahweh.
No.
Sally.
No.
Drake Maverick.
We had Ashley Rose Nova on the show.
From
Culture and Entertainment, CPE, the website. And we, from TMW Wrestling and all that other good stuff. And we talked about who we thought was going to win, who we thought was going to lose. And none of us picked Bad Bunny.
Really?
No.
When has a celebrity ever lost?
Yeah, I knew he was going to go over. It had to. There's no point in bringing him in.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing with the whole situation. We didn't expect him to get in the ring and do much.
The WWE has the situation.
I mean, I believe Adam had put over. Adam put over. What's her name?
They put Snooki over. They put Snooki over,
but not the situation. Damn it!
No, fuck the situation. But I didn't expect the match to be good. Like I will be the first to say, Bad Bunny, I apologize here live on the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, Google, Apple, Pandora, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Anchor, all those cool places that we can be heard, I
Jazz Radio?
apologize. I Smooth Jazz Radio. I apologize because I was like, Bad Bunny's gonna have a shitty match. He's gonna come in there, he's gonna do one fucking thing, and then he's fucking Canadian destroying people. He's corkscrew sentons and shit.
Is Canadian destroying people.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. He's what is he Cuban? Is he Cuban or Puerto Rican?
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican destroyer.
I have an innate hatred towards Puerto Rican because I'm Cuban by nature, by birth. We hate each other. But no, I look, yeah, like you're saying, you did a good job. Good for you. Thank you for rubbing WWE with your Spotify #1 numbers. I appreciate it. I'm glad you had fun. But,
between Soulja Boy and Randy Orton.
I'm glad Bunny. I'm glad Bunny had fun. I'm glad you had fun. Just now, go on tour like Triple H did. Here's your special Triple H edition microphone that you're going to use on tour. And don't come back. We're good. Thanks. Yeah, I'm good. We got enough.
You know he will though, right? You know he's gonna.
I'm sure he will.
Okay.
SummerSlam.
But I don't want it. But I don't want it anymore. It's like I'm good. We have actual wrestlers that need TV time. Thanks.
I will say one of the matches that I was really pleased with. I mean, not just the Seth Rollins Cesaro match because that was fucking classic, but a match that I was really pleased with, man, and I was completely wrong.
Don't say Braun and Shane.
Oh fuck no! Was Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre?
Yes.
Like
yes.
I was like, they're gonna job Bobby Lashley out and put the belt on Drew because they want to make it. They want to put the belt on Drew in front of fans and give him his WrestleMania moment. And then all of a sudden, he got choked the fuck out. I was like, wait, what?
I wasn't. Let me just say, I wasn't surprised at who won. I was shocked at the actual finish.
Yeah,
like man, like they totally like made him look like a star. Like and anybody that complains about Brock Lesnar and isn't a fan of Bobby Lashley, I need you guys to jump off a bridge because Brock Lesnar is everything, or Bobby Lashley is everything right about what you complain about Brock Lesnar. He is a huge monster. He's there every single week. And he's literally working in every match that he's in. He's destroying people. He destroyed Matt Riddle the day after. I don't want to say destroyed Drew. It was a good match, but like he totally I can't say enough great things about this match. Just even like the finish. I'm shocked at the actual finish of the match.
Man, Adam.
Yo.
What are you
talking
think
about the match?
It's your turn.
We're at the part of this, Adam, where you have to talk about what your thoughts about Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre was on night one of WrestleMania 37.
Lashley's lost me at the sister thing, so like I really haven't been.
You didn't like the Lashley sisters?
Yeah, man. Even the Hurt Business, I was like, they're gonna screw it. This is like a fucking WWE version of the Beatdown Clan, and they're gonna do this like they did the fucking.
I'm all about BDC.
Whoa!
Did you say BBC?
BDC.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, wait a minute, they ain't that kind of podcast, man. This is not Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast After Dark.
After dark. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty dark.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Adam. I mean, look at this week's Raw with Retribution is now in the Hurt Business. What is happening?
Slap nuts and Shit Shack.
They could totally fuck this up, and I think they're on their way for sure to fuck this up. Hurt Business was great. I was like you. I was surprised that Drew lost. Yeah. I thought this was Drew's moment. Not personally. I didn't want it, but I was just like, that's what's going to happen. It just logically makes sense in WWE world that Drew gets his moment. So when they put over Bobby Lashley, I was like, wow, okay. But so now what does that set up? Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar. That's it. Who's going to be Bobby besides Brock?
Hold up. Let's recklessly speculate.
Uh-oh.
When is Brock really going to come back?
For Bobby, maybe.
He ain't coming back in the Thunderdome.
That's what I mean. You need to have 100% capacity to be anywhere close to making Brock Lesnar money.
Yeah, that's Mania. Next Mania.
Oh,
Bobby and Brock.
Okay. The way you said it, I thought you were saying we were gonna build up
this-
to like SummerSlam, and I'm like,
no, there's no build up.
he's not doing 25% capacity.
No. There's no build up. That's going to happen because that's the Mania match to make happen. Now we're just going to have a year of Bobby as champ with no one being able to beat him until Brock can come back and take him down. Because who else? If it's not Drew, who beats him?
I say it happened
Goldberg.
SummerSlam. Yeah, no, it happened SummerSlam.
Goldberg.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen at what's that fucking pay per view?
WrestleMania Backlash.
Fastlane.
WrestleMania Backlash.
Great balls of fire,
No.
damn it.
Fuck
God.
I almost said
that's gonna be-
Blacklash. Ugh.
Stupid.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate this whole thing. I'm so mad. I'm gonna stop watching Raw. I'm telling you. This is what's happening.
Text me Tuesday morning. I'll send you the 14-minute link that you can watch at 2x speed.
Yes.
Yeah, send me that.
3x speed. Fuck it. Let's change it up. Let's do
YouTube
that.
doesn't let you do 3x speed. It's a whole thing.
Damn it, YouTube.
Yeah.
You gotta
All
download the MP4 and then run it through VLC to watch it at 3x speed.
So the fact that we just hate it on the match there at WrestleMania, Billy Silverman's probably gonna fucking shit on us, and on his
Well, you
Facebook
wanted
post.
some heat, brother. You
Thanks
got
for
it.
watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for
1,
watching,
2,
folks.
3, Billy. There you go.
Also, so who's
No,
next
man.
for Bobby Lashley, and why is it Akira Tozawa?
Drew McIntyre.
You know what, man? What if it's Omos or Omos? Sorry,
Omos.
Omos.
Hobo?
Look, hey, Omos held the fucking tag rope too. Of course,
Yes.
the tag rope was
He
down.
did a
on
good
the
job.
penis.
That giant
Like, so
Gonzalez
low,
Well,
y'all.
fucking
call.
Nigeria for life, yo.
Hey, look, AJ
Bro.
Styles is literally the GOAT in my eyes right now, the living GOAT. I mean, obviously, legendary, you can think of, Taker and Ric Flair and all that stuff. But right now, AJ is the man. And he is teamed up with him. Maybe it's Vince McMahon coming up with kooky stuff, but maybe there's something there. I would say AJ wouldn't put his name on it if he didn't believe in it, and AJ is the GOAT. So I don't know.
I think AJ doesn't give two fucks.
Yeah, he's like Nakamura at this point. You fucked up my Mania match with the guy that I did some shit in New
Right.
Japan with. All right, cool. Pay me the fucking money. That merch
AJ's
deal.
like, pay me, give me my money.
You notice he kept his Twitch stream, right? He kept his Twitch.
Right?
One of the
He was,
only.
he was daring him to fucking fire him.
Yeah,
He's like, I
so-
dare you to fire me. Please do.
He's only got like what 2 years left, maybe.
Does he
He's
go to
got like 4
AEW
years
afterwards?
Nah,
No, he
he's
said
done.
this was his
Maybe.
last contract.
He said that,
He
but
says
I
that.
think I
We
think
got
he,
Kenny and the
Yeah.
Bucks and the boys on TV together. I don't know.
but he also said that 2 years ago, presuming it would be 2 full years.
That too.
True.
When he said these next 2 years are my last 2 years, he assumed he'd work 600 dates in those 2 years.
Right.
That hasn't happened. I think that makes him more likely to resign. Also, remember that time when Dolph Ziggler said he was going to let his contract run out and then move to LA and do improv?
Well, he
Yep.
never said that. Everyone else did.
He never said. I feel like he totally said that.
It's just the dirt sheets.
Okay, then never mind.
I thought he said
Speaking-
that on what's his face's podcast or show. What's his name?
Did he say that on Chris Van Vliet's show?
Van Vliet. Van Vliet.
I don't know. I remember when I saw those headlines, being an improv comedian in LA, and I couldn't give you $20 if my life depended on it, and thinking Dolph Ziggler was an idiot. We were like, I'm going to move to LA and do improv comedy. But like, you don't need money to do that.
Yeah,
Everyone I know
Yeah.
who does improv comedy in LA doesn't have any.
They sleep in their cars outside of the LA Fitness. That's where they're at.
He said
In
the
Hollywood.
LA Fitness.
That's where they're at, man.
Planet Fitness, man.
Planet
What-
Fitness,
Do
whatever.
you,
you know,
book a commercial
do I
spot
look like
at
I
LA
work out?
Fitness?
Do I look like I go to any fitness center,
Center medical
He said
facility.
medical
center.
facility? It's fucking. I work out at home, my brother. I don't go to no giant gym that charges too much money. I work out here, push-ups
There
and
you go.
sit-ups. That's it,
There you go.
old school style.
Ah,
No, so wait. So are we talking about AJ Omos and becoming tag champions?
I guess.
You know, we can talk about AJ and Omos coming tag team champions, but honestly,
We can
man,
move on too.
The
Yeah,
WWE
that
tag
is-
team division is crap. Let's not
Yeah.
even talk about it. I
We
mean,
can move on.
What the fuck? Where did he get a button-up Under Armour shirt? That's what I want to know. What the fuck is that?
You know,
Oh man, leave it to WWE's seamstress, seamstress. She can make anything.
isn't it a dude?
Literally anything.
Yeah, isn't it Sasha Banks'
Oh,
husband?
Sasha Banks' husband. That's right.
Seamster,
Anyway,
right?
yeah, the seamster.
Steamy. I don't know.
Whoa, hold on now. Like we said,
Pronouns, pal. Damn it.
This isn't Roundtable Podcast After Dark. None of that sexy talk on this show. So, look, here's the thing, man. WrestleMania was by far good, bad, and horrible.
What was horrible?
Braun Strowman and fucking Shane
wasn't
McMahon.
horrible.
The
It
women's
wasn't
tag team title
horrible.
match. The women's
That wasn't horrible.
the women's fucking tag team turmoil match.
Yeah, that was pretty
wasn't-
bad. That was pretty bad.
Slip and fall back.
I can keep going. Shit.
The women's tag division thing was boring and bad. I liked Braun and Shane. Sorry, no apologies. Like
Yeah.
Shane delivers every time. I don't know.
And I thought Tamina killed it at WrestleMania. Like I was rooting for Tamina like the whole time. I mean, I predicted Adam Woods that Tamina and Natty were going to win the tag team tomorrow match, and I mean, I thought they were going to go and win the tag team titles as well. And they should have won the titles. For whatever reason, they didn't. But like I when you're behind of somebody like that, like I was behind Tamina, it suddenly becomes I'm invested in it. And so when that happens, I wasn't bored. I thought that the match on Tuesday, or I'm sorry, the second day was a lot better than the first day. I mean, there were some down parts, for the turmoil, but still, like I was too busy rooting for Tamina to even think it was a horrible match, as BJ would say.
Here's my thing about the whole WrestleMania experience. Kevin Dunn ruins it every year. Kevin Dunn is a fucking moron. Him and his 500 camera fucking switches. Like, I'm a television producer. I know you don't switch the goddamn camera that many fucking times. You miss so many good things. And then they didn't edit out certain things. I mean, I know it's a live show, but whoever has the dump button totally fucked up in the women's tag team match, because you got Nia Jax like, you ain't shit, bitch. Like, just like, she said it like 6 times. And you mean after the first time, okay, it can slide, it can slip out. But who forgot the dump button?
Or the awkward spot with like Tamina and Nia in the corner.
The 2-minute wait for the splash too.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. Oh, I love that. Natty's like, hey, hold on.
It's just that whole division. It's just no effort being put into it. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, we had a little bit of a exciting spark with Tamina and Natalie. It's a good team pair up, but they just throw everybody in a match together. There's no effort being put into this. It's just, hey, we got women. What are we gonna do with them? I don't know. Put them in a Royal Rumble. Wait, that's not this year. Well, I don't know. Turmoil tag team. Put them all in a match. I don't care how you do it. That's pretty much what I think is happening at the office.
Yeah.
So one of the major things that kind of turned me off about WrestleMania was the fact that they preached all this stuff about COVID awareness, how we're going to space people out, we're going to have people in pods and all this other bullshit.
Nope.
Everyone's standing in the fucking front row with no mask on, just like bunched in like sardines on a fucking school bus or some shit. Like, it was crazy.
Florida, baby. Florida.
Yeah. I mean, is that their fault? I mean, I was watching a Dodger game, and like you had the guy that caught Justin Turner's home run with his nachos. Like people around him, like nobody was wearing a mask. So it's like I'm not going to blame the Dodgers for that. You know, it's like
that's not WWE. That was Florida 100%.
Yeah.
You know that Florida never locked down, right? They never had rules. They never had a shutdown over there. They've been fucking around this entire time. There was no rules in the wild west of Florida. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, when you make wrestling a essential business, so your boys don't get fucked on their POs. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, they just would have went to somewhere else.
I had to discover that other states in this country, their strip clubs close at 2. I had to discover that information because in Florida it's 24 hours.
No.
Just like Vegas.
Full nudity, 24 hours, $150 will get you a little bit more than just a lap dance.
How much meth do they have there?
It depends. How much money do you have, bro?
$20 and 4,000 Dogecoin.
Talking Miami here. This is cocaine town. We don't do meth. That's Florida, California stuff.
I don't know. I mean, weren't they in Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah.
That's
Tampa.
meth. That's
Tampa
meth.
strip clubs, man. They're known for their strip clubs and their breweries. That's what.
Wait,
that's-
are those open?
No,
They're
that's-
open in
that's
Florida,
Portland.
then, right?
Oh yeah, they are. Like I said, there's no lockdown over there, man. They've been
Ooh.
partying this entire time with no mask. There's no mandate. They don't give a shit. It's Florida, man. They're playing with baby gators and NASCAR and Budweiser's down by the Everglades. They don't care. They don't care about no coronavirus. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. That's for you guys with weak immune systems. We hang out in the swamps, man.
We fucking hang out in the swamps. We got gators for pets.
Oh shit.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Look, I think the Mania overall was a good event because there was a crowd. It was nice to hear people. It was really nice. It felt
It
good.
was very weird.
I mean, and it's weird in what way? Because I mean, I look back at last year's Mania and like I can't watch it. Like it was a good show. It was a really good show last year, but I can't watch it. I even think about it and I cringe. Like performing in front of 0 people. Like
Yeah, there's nothing cringier than Drew McIntyre with the belt in front of no one.
like just having 0 people at a WrestleMania. Like man.
Well,
didn't count.
Props to Vince McMahon because he did make WrestleMania a staple for everyone every year. And he was like, I don't give a damn if people are dying. You're going to fucking have a WrestleMania.
Global pandemic.
Welcome to Deathomania. You know, like,
I
shit.
swear to God, somebody was going to get hit by lightning in that fucking night one. Good Lord. Right?
Look,
and
they
you know,
have these
here's the deal.
They have these fucking like lightning warnings and shit, like lightning strike warnings. And then what's the first match to come out? Fucking Drew McIntyre pulls out the fucking sword and stands there. I'm like, please don't get struck by lightning.
You know the Floridians were mad. They're like, yeah, whatever. It rains here all the time. We're fine. Get the show going.
It's like,
But it was all the tourists that were in town for WrestleMania that were mad about the whole situation. But they don't care about rain.
No, well, you know, to kind of circle back to how we began this podcast talking about the releases and the collective bargaining agreements that wrestlers could have. Hey, guess what? They were all on the fucking WrestleMania stage with Vince McMahon. All of them had, you know, just cause right there. Like, we have fans, they're not seeing nothing. So give us what we want and whatever. And after that, they couldn't get their shit together and 10 people got released. And here's the fact of the matter is we look back to last year, right? And we think it's just one day. No, that shit was 3 days, 40 in 3 days, right? So what I really want to know is who's next?
I think there were a lot of NXT releases today that are going to drip out in the next 7 days.
I think so too.
Yeah. Look, man, you want to talk crap about Vince McMahon's booking and how he handles WWE and talent and whatnot, but I had a friend call me crying. He was at Mania, and he heard Vince McMahon say, "Welcome to WrestleMania!" That blew his mind so hard that he had to call me crying.
Wow.
So there's something there too, man. You know what I mean? Talk shit all you want, but Nickelback still sells records.
Hey, don't you disparage the name of Nickelback?
And I have one of those records.
Exactly. I'm just saying.
I have all of those records.
All the right reasons is a great album. Rockstar is such a great song.
I'm just saying. People talk shit, but Vince knows what he's doing, and he's not worried about AEW because it's not even on his fucking radar. Disney is. Okay, Disney's on his radar.
I'm gonna go ahead and shut you down on that bullshit because Vince is worried about AEW. Okay,
he's not
you know
worried.
why he's worried about
He's
AEW?
not worried.
But bro,
not
let me put you this way: you got NXT. NXT is a fucking great show.
I bet you Vince doesn't even watch it and doesn't even know what's going on.
Vince is like, "Hey, Paul, we need to fucking stop these fucking interlopers over here. So let's put a show on to go head to head with their fucking show. Let's counter book our shows too, dude."
I think that was Triple H. I don't think Vince even
I am
knows
a professional.
what NXT is.
I'm a businessman, and I'm not going to be a mark. I'm not going to be a wrestling fan. I'm going to be a businessman, and I'm going to be a professional athlete. Look, Ring of Honor put on a show directly in competition with my show. They literally ran their Ring of Honor show here in Portland, fucking 10 blocks from my building. Fucking Cheeseburger called me 3 days before and asked me to have some of my guys work the Ring of Honor show. The same time we were doing our show. I maintained my show, and I still did my show, and not worried about what Ring of Honor did. They drew 115 people. We drew 375. So I wasn't worried about them. I didn't change my booking. I didn't change my storylines or anything different because they were in town. Now, WWE, on the other hand, Sting's going to be on this show, or they're going to have this guy on this show. Well, let's bring this fucking guy on this show. Let's do this on this show so we can kind of steal, we can steal fans from this show. Now, keep in mind, AEW does the same fucking shit. Oh, look, they got, Brock Lesnar's going to return on this show. Well, fuck, who can we have on our show? Let's bring in Kenny Omega invading Impact Wrestling, or Impact Wrestling people invade. Let's bring fuck, I want to say Hideo Tommy. Let's bring Kenta. You should just show up at the fuck. Dude, Kenta lives in fucking Florida, bro. Kenta can show up at AEW anytime he wants to.
But I definitely think AEW is doing that 100%. I don't think Vince McMahon's doing that. Not even a little bit. I think Vince McMahon's at the Bad Bunny meetings. That's what he's doing.
WWE start doing it to try to draw fans away from AEW. And then AEW decided to be petty and do stupid skits. And I mean, I'm seeing it from both sides of the spectrum. I'm not going to just dog on AEW or dog on WWE. I'm dogging on both of them because I live by this philosophy with my business. It's my fucking business. I don't give a fuck what you're doing across the street, because at the end of the day, how is it affecting me? Is it making me money? No. So if WWE would just stop, and I'm glad they moved their show to another fucking night, because NXT drew record numbers. AEW drew record numbers because people remember back in the day when Raw and fucking WCW were going head to head. Dude, I was one of those guys that was flipping the channel. Like, I literally made my mom buy me another TV so I can watch both shows at the same fucking time.
It's a good mom.
Yeah, well, she was. But, to watch both shows at the same time, which is stupid. Now, I
would just record one and watch the other one right afterwards.
But you didn't want to miss anything, because then what if I've done this, Adam, and I apologize, Adam. I've dropped the fucking spoilers, like thinking Adam had watched the show, and Adam's like, I haven't watched that shit yet.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
So when WCW was on and Raw was on, like, you didn't want to change you had the NWO over here, you had DX over here, you had fucking Sting over here, and then you had Stone Cold and fucking The Rock over here. So you're watching back and forth. I wasn't able to enjoy it.
I want to say I think NXT being live on Wednesdays had nothing to do with AEW. Yeah, and let me tell you why. Who was on Wednesdays first, NXT or AEW?
AEW.
NXT was on Wednesdays since 2014, since the WWE
NXT
network
was on the fucking network. It wasn't.
Okay, no. My point is they were on Wednesdays. But my point is they were on Wednesdays. Like, that's all I'm saying. They were on Wednesdays. Okay, years before AEW even was a thing, right?
Okay. So
as soon as AEW started to exist on January 1st, 2019. True or false?
True.
WWE signed a 5-year deal with Fox, and maybe like summer of 2018. And we all saw, remember the press release, right? Oh my God, record-breaking press release. SmackDown is going to be on Fox. As soon as that press release said additional live programming, we all said, oh shit, NXT is going to be live every week, and it's going to be 2 hours. We all said that 6 months even before AEW even existed. We all said that on the prep. Oh my God, it's got to be AEW. It's got to be NXT. FS1. It's going to be Fox Sports 1, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until that very last minute where USA came in and said, you know what? We'll pay you even more money than what FS is going to do. We'll have NXT on our thing. So, and again, NXT wasn't going to move with days. So if anything, it's AEW that came on and competed with NXT. Even again, NXT being live on Wednesdays for 2 hours was in all of our mindsets even before AEW was a thing. That's my point on how NXT didn't just all of a sudden say, you know what, we're going to go compete with AEW. It just the card just kind of played in. It was the first week that Fox was on USA. It was 2 days before that premiered on Fox SmackDown on Fox. It was just all happenstance. I think it's a great coincidence that just keeps the dirt sheets just kind of flowing as far as like, of course WWE is going to come in and compete with AEW. What else will they do? Like, of course that's going to be the narrative that the smart marks are going to play onto.
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
I
one
think
thing
that
about
I
this-
think that I think that this move to Tuesday is not even about AEW in terms of the booking.
I agree.
It's maybe just paperwork. Like somebody came in like, hey, look, I think we'll make more money if we go to a Tuesday. And Vince said, okay, that's it. Like he's not at these meetings. He doesn't care what's happening at AEW. Like, he's worried about Bad Bunny and Logan Paul and who's next. What's the next celebrity we can bring in? Vin Diesel. Like, let's go. Like that's what those are the meetings he cares about. He's looking for money. He's not looking for. Oh, Omega had a 5-star match. You think Vince gives a shit? He doesn't care about that.
Also, the
I'm not
USA
defending
Network.
him, by the way. I hate him. I hate that, but it's just I just understand that corporate
business,
mind. Yeah.
The USA
sure.
Network wants to run hockey on Wednesday nights.
No, there's that. There you go.
And they'll do a better rating than they've been doing against AEW.
Yeah.
Or at least a better demo.
I don't know. I think that's definitely I'm sure maybe some of the writers are watching AEW. Maybe, but I think Vince doesn't give a flying shit about it.
I agree. He's like, cool. Let me know when they break 2 million viewers or whatever.
Look at what happened with Jericho on the Broken Skulls. Like Jericho, hey, Stone Cold, hey Vince, I want to do this thing with Jericho. Okay, he doesn't even like he doesn't understand. Like Jericho's your opponent. He's like, no, he's not. You can have him on your show. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, let me know when they go on Mondays, pal. Like he doesn't care.
How?
Well, guys, it has been great having you guys each on the show.
We're not going to talk about the main event of night one.
Oh, Roman Reigns. We got to put over Roman Reigns. Let's do it 4 minutes.
Roman Reigns.
4 minutes on Roman Reigns, I think.
And then 4 minutes on Bianca Belair.
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I can go with that.
All
All right. So Roman Reigns. Okay, I gotta say that was a fucking good match. Like the
I want
ending,
to know what the guy to my whatever I'm pointing at thinks because he hates Roman Reigns and his whole reasoning is like, oh, I don't like that he's wearing the Shield outfit. I don't like this. I don't like that he's a babyface. Okay, so what is it now? Because he is the absolute best guy right now in the WWE.
Pass.
Exactly. Like,
No, I don't give it. I literally, when I saw like the finishing sequence and I was like, it's not Edge, I tuned off for Mania. I cut out.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm gonna defend Adam in a sense when it's about this. I personally agree with Adam. I think that so when Seth Rollins when the Shield broke up, Moxley got a new gimmick. Seth Rollins got a new gimmick. Roman Reigns got a Shield. He got the music. He kept all the fucking gear. He didn't change himself at all. He became. Vince was trying to shove him down everyone's throat as being the new John Cena or the new Rock or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I agree with Adam about him not really being shit because he didn't get put in that position. What put him in that position is when fucking he hooked up with Paul Heyman. He became a heel. He took off. Remember when he first took off that fucking vest and he was out there with his shirt on and shit? Like, to me, Roman became a star when he became an asshole. When he's like with The Rock. Everyone hated fucking Rocky Maivia. Hated him. He was like, hi, I'm Rocky Maivia. Shut the fuck up with that bullshit.
It was Rocky sucks. That was the chant.
Yeah, die, Rocky, die. But the moment he put those fucking glasses on and was like, do you smell The Rock is cooking? Boom. Instant change. Like he was a whole different person.
Yeah. I think Roman's doing the best work of his career right now. Now that he's a heel.
Now,
yeah,
he is doing so fucking good. Like so good. I mean, and I don't like Roman Reigns. I don't like him.
Me neither.
I don't like him. I don't like him as just I don't like his whole persona. But I dig it because he is literally the embodiment of a heel. People fucking hate him. Like, and then like he loses matches and he finds a shitty, sneaky ass way to fucking get around it. Like he tapped out to Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. He tapped out to Daniel Bryan and Edge
at the pay per view.
WrestleMania,
Yeah.
but the refs didn't see it. Dude, that's classic. People talk shit about Ric Flair. Ric Flair, one of the greatest heels of all time. You know who the best heel in all of professional wrestling is, in my opinion?
Roddy Piper.
Kurt Angle.
I was
You
going
know
to
why?
say
You know why I say Kurt Angle? Because he broke his fucking neck and won an Olympic gold medal, and he can literally say, "I'm better than you." Who can fucking prove he wasn't? He was so. I have integrity, I have intensity, and I have what was the other one? What was the other integrity? Intelligence. Yeah, legit. He was so. He had that "I'm so great, I'm jealous of myself" mentality, and people were like, "You're such a dick." MJF, same thing. You're such a dick. But he's such a dick that fans are like, "Fuck, dude, this guy is money." Like, look right here. If the fans hate you, you have a solid character. That's right. Your character is fucking perfect. And right now, that chicken shit bullshit ass bitch of a character is what's making Roman Reigns so fucking good.
Roman Reigns is the #1 guy in pro wrestling right now.
People love to hate him. And the thing about being a good booker, if you are a good booker, you build your fucking heel up so bad. Like, it sucks because a lot of people are like, "Why is the face always getting beat up? Why is the face always getting beat up?" The face gets his ass beat so much, and the heel is such a dick that people are paying. Dude, when I'm a heel, I piss people off to the point to where they want to see me get my ass beat. So when I don't get my ass beat, guess what? They're gonna come back next week to see me get my ass beat. And when I don't get my ass beat again, and I piss them off to the point to where they're going to come back again to see me get my ass beat. And then I get my ass beat, to super big payoff. Roman is that character right now.
So here's the deal, all right? You, like your cousin who's doing your bidding, came from a penitentiary, the USA penitentiary, but you're the head of the table, but is a former SWAT guy. But you're the Polynesian guy with fucking camo boots and fucking SWAT. It's just, what the fuck are you doing? Roman Reigns is WWE in 2020 encompassed. That's it.
He's a heel.
And
God damn.
I didn't want him to die of leukemia. Did I want him to get on my fucking wrestling again? No, absolutely not. It's a drizzling shit. I mean, fuck, man. I don't know.
I can't hear Eddie.
Adam.
Eddie's muted.
Adam. I get what you're
Eddie's
saying.
muted. I want to hear what Eddie
Eddie's
says.
still muted.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I'm with you, Adam. I hated Roman Reigns up until the leukemia point. Even when he came back, I was like, "Oh no, he's back." When the Heyman thing clicked,
You guys are heartless. Oh god, he's back.
at the table and the glove, the golden glove, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, he figured it out. That's why I'm like, they figured it out. They've been trying to figure it out this whole time. And I was with you. Who is this guy? I don't care. I don't want.
Paul Heyman figured it out.
Paul Heyman figured it out. They got it down. I think he's a perfect heel. And there's a big difference between that kind of heat and the heat that I was talking about earlier with the go away heat, like with the Iconics. Like that was just annoying. I don't want to see that. I hate Roman Reigns, but now I hate him with a purpose. There's a reason I hate him, and that's good.
Wants to get his ass kicked.
I mean, I said it once and I'll say it again. I don't think he should lose the belt any day before WrestleMania 38.
To The Rock?
Wow.
Or
No, legit. I see the build up.
I think he should. I think he should beat The Rock. Yeah,
It's not even going to be for the championship. I'm telling you right now. I think that he's going to lose the championship in one of these stupid 3-ways, like just like how they protected fucking Bobby Lashley. They put a triple threat match together, and they had the other guy beat the other guy, so Bobby Lashley didn't get beat. But at the end of the night, Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of both of those guys after losing the belt. So that kept him strong. It didn't put the other guys in jeopardy, and the other guys won brought a championship. So, in a sense, if you build him up, he can lose the title, and the title wouldn't mean shit because we all know in professional wrestling, it's not the title that makes the man; it's the man that makes the title.
Huh?
Yeah.
Legit, it's the man who makes the title because there have been guys that have held the NWA World title like fucking Tommy Rich. Okay.
Yep.
Ronnie
Tommy Rich.
Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin, Barry fucking Windham. Okay, guys who held the
Don't be
title.
dissing
That
Wyndham, but Wyndham's the
I mean,
man.
I love Barry Windham. Don't get me wrong, but guys who won the title and
Fuck all with
Mike
it.
Rapata, the Colorado kid.
Mike
Guys who won the
Rapata, hell
NWA
yeah.
Guys who won the NWA World Title, and they're like, really? Who the fuck are those guys? But then you got like Ric Flair who held the fucking title. You got Sting. You got fuck. You know, you got other guys too. Ron Simmons when he was WCW World Champion. You know, like you got guys who won the title, and it meant something because it was those guys. You know what I'm saying? When those guys won the belt meant something because those guys won the belt, not the belt won the guy. So Roman Reigns doesn't need the title right now. He can lose the belt and still be the biggest asshole in wrestling and get over.
But he won't lose that belt.
That's not how WWE does things.
He's not going to lose that belt, though.
He shouldn't lose that belt.
I honestly, truly think if the stars can align either in Dallas or a year later in Los Angeles, if we can get The Rock.
It's going to be LA. It's definitely going to be LA.
If The Rock can
I say have Roman
dethrone,
held till then.
if we could lock it in place now, yes, I'm completely on board with
But people
Roman
are gonna
Reigns
get tired
beats
of him being
everyone.
champion. He's gonna be
Including The Rock.
being
Including
champion
The
all the way
Rock.
to WrestleMania.
No, I think The Rock
That's
goes
what
over.
he needs. He needs that win against The Rock to solidify himself.
I don't think there's any way I don't know, he's gonna be like 51 or 52-year-old Rock volunteers. I think he's gonna volunteer to put Roman Reigns over. There's no way that Rock goes over.
Dude, yeah, he wants to put him over. Like he's gone on fucking Twitter like, hey, I will definitely wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's the new he's a legacy. I will put him over in a heartbeat. Like you can go find Rock tweets. He was tweeting about this shit a couple months ago when Roman won the title. He was like really on it.
Yeah, but you don't think that the top paid Hollywood actor standing in the middle of Hollywood with the championship up above his head isn't going to make people pop?
Look, I'm gonna tell you something about Vince McMahon.
I think that whole audience goes, "Woo!"
3 years away from that Disney sale.
Oh man!
I think he's kind of stupid.
Swimming in the gold coins like Scrooge.
Yeah, I think Vince's booking is kind of stupid in ways, but I will tell you this: this was the first, and you can go back and Google it. This was the first WrestleMania ever in the history, all 7 years of WrestleMania, that the heel won in the main event.
The Miz,
Triple H.
I mean, but you don't get it. Like those weren't really for the championship. Like those weren't really heels.
The Miz.
I mean, they're
Miz
bad
was
guys.
a heel. No, the Miz was 100% like the top heel in that company.
They're
at the time.
bad guys. They're bad guys, and then they're heels.
Nobody liked the Miz.
The Miz was definitely a heel, dude.
Bad guys are just like bad guys. People don't like bad guys. Heels, people want to see them
Billie
die.
Eilish.
Billie Eilish. People want to see them die. Like, and at WrestleMania for the heel to be like so hated to go over and end the night like just fucking a chorus of boos. Like,
how is it different from when he was a babyface winning the night to a chorus of boos?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it makes sense now that they're booing him.
You mean a chorus of boos to the remaining 20,000 people who stayed that long because that was a 14-hour WrestleMania?
Yeah. And Bianca, let's go to Bianca. I gotta get going, guys. Let's talk about Bianca.
We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna just say, like in the long run, I think the most underrated match in this entire weekend is gonna be Sheamus versus Riddle. People don't realize just how phenomenal that match was. But yeah, we can talk about Bianca.
That was a good match, and Sheamus deserves the title.
It was the best part when Sheamus kicked him in the fucking face after that flip. I was just like, game over, bitch.
That was good.
I really like Riddle's character, but I cannot say more about this main event of night one. It makes me honestly, that match makes me want 2-night WrestleManias every single year. Like I can't say enough more. Like, and even like I wanted to ask you guys too, specifically BG and Adam, like, what does it mean when like Michael Cole just flat out says like, this is history, guys. Like it's 2 black women in the title at main event of WrestleMania.
I mean, it couldn't have been any better. It couldn't be. The match was perfect. Those 2 people in place. And again, Sasha and Bianca, right, were everything that Roman Reigns isn't, right? They're believable characters, their gear matches, their storyline and storytelling, like everything. Like this, nothing needed
Aesthetically,
to
they
be
were
changed.
pleasing.
Nothing needed to be
Aesthetically, they
changed.
were pleasing. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Nothing needed to be changed. It was perfect. That was, and I felt like it was going to be people regarding this for women's wrestling, much like, and rightfully so, Savage Steamboat. Obviously, different era or what have you, but that, and I think it holds up. I think there's going to be little girls in the next 5, 10, 20 years. There's going to be men. There's going to be everybody watching, wanting to become pro wrestlers, whatever, every ethnicity, and yes, it was awesome. 2 African American women, and it was weird that it was over the B title, the SmackDown,
Right.
any title was notoriously the B title, but they put the B title like up on a pedestal that I don't think, I hope we'll see more of, but if we don't, we had that night. And I just think what it meant for just everybody, not just us, but just everyone. I think
That's right.
amazing.
Like,
Where do we think Sasha goes from here?
oh,
Mandalorian?
man.
Or just other TV? Like, if I had a role like that on The Mandalorian next season, I'm guaranteed like 5 guest spots on other TV shows.
Yeah.
Like,
But I
that's a
will
big
say
enough
this
show that she
I
has
will
a
say this
built-in
about
audience.
Oh well, I will say this about their match, and it's real simple. It wasn't about black versus white or whatever. That match was 2 stellar females who needed to be the main event for that fucking night. Like, they made history because there were 2 females that and in this whole era with the fucking speaking out movement, that needed to happen. Like, in a male dominated business, and professional wrestling is a male dominated business. Let's just call it what it is. In a male dominated business, the women took part in something that was historic, and they earned it. They earned it. I mean, honestly, they had a fucking they literally had a storyline. They had a long running storyline. And I was glad that they did that. I'm glad that they got the main event. I mean, like, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka didn't deserve a main event.
And that just shows, like, those 2 matches just shows like everything right about what can be with one match and everything wrong about what can be with match. Like, nobody, I mean, it's supposed to be on the same level, but nobody was invested in that Asuka Rhea Ripley match is the same way it was, regardless of the main event or not, as Bianca and Sasha. Like, that to me, it was everything right about pro wrestling as far as just what goes into a main event. Yeah, I can't say enough more things. Like, I've been totally invested in Bianca since day one, and it's in regards to Sasha. I said this on Adam Woods' podcast last week, where it's like, this is going to be Sasha's make or break moment. Like, you talk all the shit about how you're the fucking best or the GOAT or whatever you are. I'm just going to be here to say she delivered. Like in every single way, like Sasha and she totally killed it. Bianca totally killed it. Like, this to me is going to be something that history in the making. And I could be very wrong about this trivia bit, but do you know the last time 2 black people main evented a pay-per-view?
No, when was that?
I want to say it was 20 years ago, but The Rock versus Booker T at SummerSlam 2001. So like that's how long it's been. And just as far as 2 people of color in the main event at, let alone a WrestleMania, obviously that's never happened alone, but just, yeah, like everything, like Michael Cole saying what he said, when the match started, like, gives me goosebumps, and obviously I'm not even black. But just yes, 100%, like there couldn't be a more perfect match as far as Bianca versus Sasha night 1 of WrestleMania.
Well, the new streak is 0-6, ladies and gentlemen. 0-6 at WrestleMania. That's how. Yeah. Speaking of new streaks, I want to give a quick shout out to the phenomenal one, Jazz, who wrestled her last match tonight at Impact Wrestling.
Shout out to Jazz.
Shout out
Shout out
to
to
Jazz.
Jazz is a real cool chick, and I should have her on the podcast pretty soon. Proud of her for all the years of being a strong black woman in professional wrestling. But yeah. Oh, wait. What's this?
What happened?
Logan Paul just said, okay.
Oh, wow.
Hold up, guys, give me 1 second.
Now, look, I have one comment to say about the Bianca Belair and Sasha match, which I agree with all you guys. Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was history, like you said. I thought the right person went over. I thought it was perfect all the way around. But and so, I don't need to comment on the actual match, but I want to comment on what you said. Michael Cole saying those words, right?
Mhm.
Those are Vince's words.
Yep.
'Cause
Exactly.
Michael Cole has no voice.
Mhm.
Michael Cole. That earpiece in his ear is telling Michael Cole to say every fucking word possible.
Exactly. So that shows you where Vince is at business wise. Vince knows that was money. That's what needed to happen, and that's what. Okay.
Logan Paul.
No, but for real, that Michael Cole, like those words are powerful, but he doesn't say things for himself. That was Vince saying that. So
The worst thing about what you just said is that I don't care what anybody says. Michael Cole is an amazing commentator. Like, if you just take away the Vince aspect, like the UK tournament, enough said. That's my thesis. Yeah. That's my, whatever it's called, term paper, whatever it is. Like, you watch that and you'll think Michael Cole is the absolute best commentator that's ever lived. So knowing that he's able to do that without Vince, it's like, I hate that he's pretty much Vince's voice.
He's good at hearing and saying things really quickly. Props to him. He's good. He's great. I still think Mauro Ranallo deserves way more credit, but he gets bullied out of the locker room, so whatever.
Yeah, Mauro Ranallo. Welcome to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
It's live on Impact Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. You can go see Mauro Ranallo on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, Steve, did you do your take?
My take on just beyond, it was a great match. Y'all covered it very well. That's the actual Ric Flair has joined us.
Nice.
It's weird because that's 1 a.m. in Atlanta. Still sticking with us. Thanks, Rick.
He's partying. He's drinking, having a drink. I'm 2 beers in.
Kamikazes.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. I guess Logan Paul wants to hook up with Charlotte because he's like,
gonna have to fight La Sombra for that, buddy.
Which, or maybe he's got to fight Conrad Thompson.
Oh, that daughter. Yeah, exactly.
So, Steve, tell us about Conrad Thompson.
What about him? We're gonna need to be more specific. He's a mortgage guy out of Alabama. Became an accidental podcaster.
The Podfather, I understand.
Yes,
that's what people call him. Yeah,
no, I don't call him that. I call him Conrad.
The Conrad.
I don't call him that. That would be weird.
What do you call him, boss?
No, he's Conrad.
Ouch.
You call him Connie? Is that what you said?
No, I call him Conrad. Jim Ross calls him Connie.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's hysterical.
What do you call Jim Ross?
Nothing. I was on nothing. I was on one call with him once. Like
JR,
Mr. Ross.
It would be
Mr.
Sir.
Ross, good old JR.
Not Diana Ross.
He's like, can I get some of your barbecue sauce?
There you go. That's it. I think everybody should plug their shit.
JR'sBarbecue.com. I can give you a discount code. That's about it, kid.
Yeah.
You can you?
No, he actually can't. He'll give you the discount code he gives everybody. Just
I
like
wanted to order some of that beef jerky.
That's crazy. You handle his podcast, and yet he can't give you a fucking coupon code.
I handle his podcast on YouTube. There's a team of people who already handle his podcast.
Starter to Ric Flair.
You got to pay him first, Logan Paul.
Yeah, I know.
Then you pay me. With that, ladies and gentlemen,
Stundy pay me.
This has been your boy, The Franchise. Thank you to George and According to Woods. Thank you to the gentlemen, all these amazing gentlemen here on the podcast. Guys, you guys rule. You guys kick ass. Give your shout outs to where they can find you guys online.
All at the same time. Go.
Everyone.
Somebody can go first.
Y'all
George.
can find.
Or Steve, yes.
Y'all can find me on Twitter almost exclusively. I'm at Steve Kaufman. That is KUFMANN. The amount of YouTube channels I run on a daily basis has gone up to 8, including Jeff Jarrett this week.
Nice.
And that's not including Ric Flair, who I also manage, stuff like that. So I guess I need a nap. That's what I need. Really, I'm in a perpetual need of a nap.
You do need an app for that. They have apps for everything. You do need an app for that.
That's right. And what about you, Adam Woods?
According to Woods on everything, YouTube, Facebook, I share dad memes and don't. Ooh, damn. Ooh,
my God,
yeah.
Logan
No,
Paul,
I
shut
share
your mouth.
podcasts and dad memes at According to Woods on literally everything. So, go ahead, follow, subscribe, do this shit, and also the Roundtable podcast on all of the fine places here.
Oh man.
Did you just disappear behind the mic? I couldn't decipher your head from the fucking top of your mic.
His head does look like a microphone.
Oh Jesus Christ! I just got a haircut too.
It's
So
a
fuck
DJ
you
right
guys.
now. It's weird to say.
I'm just laughing at Logan Paul, man. Continue, please continue.
Okay, then fine. I'll go.
Go, George.
You can follow me at regular G Hermosa, GHERMOSA. I run one YouTube. I can't even say it right. I run one YouTube wrestling channel. Did I say it right? The Wrestling Chatter. We do a lot of cool interviews with former XPW alumni. We're going to do a lot more, like another kind of interview series. By the way, I think it's very coincidental that I start this XPW kind of YouTube stuff on, and then like all of a sudden it's like there's all this YouTube content on like XPW stuff, and like cool, credit please. Like, okay, let me know what you guys think. I know we're all wrapping up, but let me know what you guys think. So I've had this since July 31st. I run a show called Extreme Memories with Chris Kloss, right? He interviews all these Extreme alumni, XPW alumni, Chaos, Chris Hammer, pretty much, we're still going, right? Tell me if this is just a coincidence or conspiracy, where I want to say maybe in November or December, good old Kurt Hawkins, Brian Myers on his channel is trying to do a show called Extreme Conversations. And guess what the first episode of Extreme Conversation was? It was ECW Heatwave, the same event that XPW invaded. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, do you think that's a coincidence or a conspiracy?
No, he's watching your fucking podcast, which everybody should
tell
do.
me you watch the podcast. Don't be like, hey, I thought of this on my own. I just thought it was weird timing.
Conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen. Conspiracy.
I'm just saying, like, it was just like, hey, like, I can get you with XPW people. That way you can get their sides of the story. Why not kind of get some of those guys involved? But I'm just saying, I just thought it was weird that a lot of similarities. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I'm just throwing it out there. Continue.
He's subscribed. But Eddie.
What's up? I am the host of the RRBG podcast. I used to have a wrestling podcast called Let There Be Heels. I still have all the properties to it, so maybe one day I'll fire it back up. I'm a big wrestling fan. I have a lot of professional wrestlers on the show. It's not a wrestling podcast, but I had recently had Rocky Romero. I've had Brody King on. Chris Dickinson, Jeff Cobb. I'm good friends with Barnett. I've had Barnett a few times. So all those guys that I mentioned, I got through Barnett because of Bloodsport. But I also talked to a bunch of musicians, comedians. I just recently had Karina Round from Pussifer, Mickey D from Motorhead, and I've had Tony Hinchcliffe on if you're into comedy. So there's a little bit for everyone. Just come check me out. Trying to up my numbers on YouTube. So go to the YouTube channel and look for RRBG podcast and subscribe, please, so I can get paid.
Have you had Larry Rivera from Brujeria?
I have not had him from Brujeria, but I have had Jessica Pimentel from Orange is the New Black, and she is a singer in Brujeria. So
nice.
Yes,
cool.
Yeah, she's really cool. And she also has her own band, Alekin's Gun. She's been on twice, but really great, good homie. She's my homie. So come check it out. I'm just trying to have fun. I like music. I like comedy. I like professional wrestling, and you're going to get all of that if you come check me out.
I love it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. And for these amazing gentlemen, we would like to say thank you very much. And before we go, Ric Flair has one more other thing to say.
Woo! We should all do this in unison. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
Wait.
Oh my God!
Fucking Logan Paul.
You gotta fight this weekend, damn you!
Yeah,
is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Anyway,
if you run into me, give me a 2 sweet.
We are out this piece. 2 sweet us, everyone.